Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Review. Yes, we're doing two of these in about a week's time. Technically, the week is now past, but you know what I mean. Also, I guess, happy Star Wars Day. Can't really say this is Star Wars related, but it's a thing that is happening. And for me, will continue to happen for another hour. Yes, you may join. Oh, this is going to be quite fitting, actually, for reasons that reasons that you do not yet understand, but you shortly will. Anyway, so I guess that's been a while since that's happened as well, but it's also been a while since we've had an episode of Mermaid Tales. So that's exciting. Is it safe to say that we have been, waiting with bated breath to see, when the series would come back? Yeah, a little bit. We did get some My Street content in the middle of that, so, not like we were exactly, starving for an Aphmau fix. Plus, now be some time to catch up on Rexifer, which I always appreciate. Still got to do Deltarune sometime in the week and do the finale of that. But we're not going to worry about that for now. We're going to deal with Mermaid Tales instead. And so we'll have somebody here who has probably already seen the video and who is actually expected to be here tonight. Aiden Best.
Hello. By the way, this is a cool thing about the thumbnail. If you look at the thumbnail, since like the background of since the background Aaron's on is on fire, like they have fire reflecting in his eyes, which kind of invokes the Ultima eyes, like color wise, which is cool. Obviously, it's not the Ultima in this universe, but the eyes were invoking that, which I think that's kind of cool from an artistic standpoint.
I mean, yep, that's fair.
Also,
it also may suggest the fire spread ahead of him as well as behind. Might be two things.
I'm going to save this for a discussion later, but it was pointed out, I think I saw it somewhere on TikTok, but this title has been used for another Minecraft roleplay series. This specific title have been used for another Minecraft roleplay series Aphmau has done for a certain episode.
That's not exactly surprising.
I'll discuss it when it's more relevant because it does a parallel to the episode, but that's future problems.
Okie dokie. All right. With that, BB hasn't joined yet, so I guess we'll go ahead and start. I've got the popcorn for the day from an actual cinema because I went to see the Mario Galaxy movie today, so I had some spares.
I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously it's still fresh in my mind and I do have a lot to say about it, but if we get too much in a tangent, then we'll be here forever. So I will reserve that for the time being. Let's get the placemat out of the way from the mic stand.
You got your milk
time for BB to join.
You got your milk for the Levi drink or whatever you're using for your Levi drink?
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah.
Good.
So, Butter Bunch reunion time.
Yes.
Yeah, hey man. It's a good thing we stopped using. We've switched all of our reactions over to this channel, I guess.
I mean,
for the time being, we do have a reaction plan on
the next 3 days.
We have a reaction plan on next Thursday, so
I know that, but chat didn't know that, so it was funny then.
True, but cross promotion.
Aiden never misses a chance to cross promote, even if there's no segue. There was a segue this time, so
yay!
Yeah.
Yes. He also doesn't miss an opportunity to kill a half decent joke.
Oh, comedy is dumb.
I mean, that's what people say about a lot of Butter Bunch reactions that we, But anyway, I guess in the spirit of cross promotion, in case anyone hasn't seen my community post that I made recently, still looking for any people who would like to help with the remake of the Murdered Fingers Drop High song from last year with actual singers that aren't just me 10 times. We've got a few people, but there are still some that are available. I would give the list, but I don't have it with me right now. So if you want to join, then we can discuss at a later moment. Now we're going to discuss this thing at this moment. Segue. Yes. Without further ado, on with the review.
Man, what a wild segue.
Mm-hmm. I do find this clock very interesting because this is chisel and bits. I don't actually know the production team did this because this is chisel and bits, like the way they're like with the movie clock parts. And I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is very true. Because the clock construction itself, you can definitely see how they put it together. But the actual movement, yeah, you're right. Obviously not how the small hand would actually move on a clock, but hey, why be pedantic in the first 13 seconds?
The background extras, and I'm pretty sure in every town. Pretty sure we've seen these background extras multiple times. Like
that's
the random
also
civilians.
Not surprising. Yeah. obviously you see a lot of like the same background extras, you know.
There's some really weird.
Oh yeah.
In each given series,
So there's some really
they're mostly
weird
set in one place,
connections.
so
there's some really strange connections to. I think we're out of sync, Jacob. I think what I'm learning here is that we are out of sync because I'm only talking when you're quiet, but you are very clearly also doing the same. But no, what I was gonna say was there's some strange connections that I'm noticing in this episode. They'll come back a little bit later, but this is it happens right at the start, which is weird to me. Specifically to more recently My Street, but also MCD. And that bit right there with the clock is such an odd detail when combined to some of the other stuff. And I don't really get why.
I mean, the clock could be reminiscent of that weird purple clock being used to promote season 8 of My Street, which, one last time, which that's kind of reminiscent of that. Also kind of reminiscent of earlier in the show where the whole, like, clock striking 12 was a whole thing, a part of the Cursed Island arc.
No, sure. I just mean this particular sound effect, though. It's not the fact that it's a clock. It's the repeated version of this exact sound effect of the clock chiming.
Because
which should sound incredibly familiar to you guys.
Of course it does. Apple uses the same sound effects all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this just reusing the same sound effects because clock sound effect is pretty simple. But
yeah, but you could also use anything other than the one that is like famously used in like some of the most iconic scenes in like Aphmau media.
There's a reason it's reused, as it's in the library in their folders.
Yeah, true. I've been doing some Fallen Angels editing recently. I made a community post about this, but yeah, I literally went to my like sound files. I'm like, okay, we're using like Angel Wing sound effects. We're using music because I have a whole soundtrack folder. We're using.
You made a post to highlight the fact that you're reusing sound effects that people have known you to use for years.
Well, yeah, but I reuse a lot of sound effects in Fallen Angels. I mentioned it in a post publicly.
Yeah, that is what just said.
I was just stating that the public somewhat knows about that, and I actually haven't told you verbally yet. But that was production side of Aiden.
Honestly, you don't need to. I assumed it was going to happen anyway, mostly because I provided a lot of those files.
Yeah.
Emerald Reach. Pirates getting this close is a suicide mission. This girl's really worth it, huh?
She's worth everything.
Wow. I'm excited to meet her then.
Captain!
It's kind of ironic that Lawrence in particular is, considering what his alternate versions have done for Aphmau, is making that observation.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Good.
Yeah,
None of you best know to mess this up.
Aye, sir. You heard the captain. Begin!
Just saying, the guy who just spoke to Lawrence has been in a few episodes, and he's like his like first in command, or whatever. But like at first, when we first saw him, like back like, oh crap, I forget where.
Yeah, no, it's so weird that Aphmau keeps doing the same character.
No, that's not my point. That's not my point. But when
I'm just teasing BB.
Yeah, but when we first,
it's a whole other situation though.
When we first saw him back in like episode 6 or it was episode 7, we saw him in the episode where we found out Aaron was wanted back earlier this season. But like he has such a generic design. Because when we first saw him, I thought, oh, he's just a random crew member. Oh, I guess they didn't really feel the need to like put that much into his design. Fair enough. Random crew members, you don't really overly design them. But like as we've seen him more and more, I'm like,
yeah. So as we keep gives names to everyone.
As we see him more and more, though, and as he's like meant to be like the first in command on the ship, and how he's meant to be important crew, and how we keep emphasizing him, I'm like, man, I really wish Aphmau actually gave him something more, a facial scar, freckles, a more recognizable outfit, maybe a more unique hairstyle, because he just feels super generic design wise, and that's just what kind of sucks about him. Because I kind of feel like from a character standpoint, he feels like he's designed like a background character, despite appearing to a level of importance and emphasis where it's like you feel less like a background character, more like a relevant character.
It's entirely possible, considering that sometimes you think you have a background character that gets like one, maybe two lines, and then they end up getting like they're getting more and more reason to actually speak rather than giving lines and casting other people to play other characters in the same avenue. So I guess that's probably what happened. It was more of a case of that just kind of evolved organically.
Yeah, it just sucks from a show standpoint, though, because obviously you want your main characters to at least, or like your main reoccurring characters, especially that have some level of relevance, to actually somewhat stand out. Obviously, not stand out in like the Yu-Gi-Oh sense, where it's like which one's the main character, but like stand out in more of a sense of you're able to at least somewhat pick them apart from the background characters, but not enough where it's jarring, where it's like everyone's from another world.
Didn't you start this whole thing by talking about how you picked him out from the other episodes that he was in?
Yeah, because I study a series pretty much, and like he keeps being brought up. Aaron freed him from prison. He was talked in the cellar. Lauren said he was his first in command, so he's had enough relevant roles compared to the rest of Lawrence's crew up to this point, who are just faceless guards. Or faceless pirate crew members. I mean, well, they have a face, literally.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they are faceless. They have no eyes. Minus Toby. He's the only one we see without a helmet constantly.
Okay, where did the two jugs just disappear to that he pushed onto the ground right there? They've gone. They've vanished.
They went into
the
void.
The birds
the
ate
void.
ceramic.
Hey, they got real hungry.
They must have done.
Listen, the void really.
Ceramic, when you get down to it, it's just tiny rocks, honestly. Squished together. Wouldn't be that bad. I see that they're trying to disguise the ship in order to, not raise suspicion, which is fair, but also, would it not raise suspicion that, there's a ship that's undergoing major modifications within viewing distance of this island?
Well, Jacob, it's a Aphmau show. No one has peripheral vision.
I mean, it's most of the time peripheral hearing that tends to be a problem, but yeah, vision is sometimes,
Vision's also a problem that they occasionally suffer with for some reason.
That guy is that guy particularly, because he's painting the green, but with a white brush.
No, they're painting it. They're painting the green white.
Oh, okay. Well, nothing's moving. Oh, well, I guess that's probably
It's Minecraft. It's Minecraft, Jacob.
Yes, Captain.
There's some level of limitations.
That means
I thought they were trying to apply.
that means literally nothing.
He had and then striping, but yeah.
I'm sure you can trust your men.
There's actually zero limitations given how far the modding community has gone and also how much there is in the production crew. But
I wouldn't call it zero limitations, but there are a few of them before.
As long as there's coin, we've got their trust. Besides, all we...
Aaron will fetch more coin than they're probably being paid, let's be honest. Aaron's dead body.
His live body would also do the same, yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's better alive.
it's
easier to take in a dead man than a live man, to be fair.
hey, maybe it's in
sometimes
bad
people will agree to be taken alive rather than, go down fighting. So it depends on the person.
I think it's maybe in bad taste to say that Mr. Werewolf Boy would fetch a lot of coin, Very
He's not a werewolf.
He's
not a werewolf.
Yeah, no, he's not in this case. His last name's Saber. He's clearly a Meathwan disguise instead.
Among pirates, Something about
God,
emeralds.
I don't even
I'm
know
not
if Aphmau
convinced.
remembers her Mifwa lore. I don't even know if she remembers her Mifwa lore.
Why would she?
Aphmau forgets a lot, and also she clearly doesn't care enough about it because about it to
Yeah,
ever
but that doesn't
expand
mean
on
that
it.
she's. That's such a very specific complaint for something that has been so irrelevant for so long. Like, I
That's the
don't.
problem. I don't like it being irrelevant.
Yeah, the complaint
Yeah.
is that it has been irrelevant for so long and continues
Right,
to be
but
so.
I mean, I just don't get how that indicates that she would have forgotten it.
It's Aphmau. She
Well, I
forgets
mean, there's one
lore.
of two options. Either one, she has forgotten about it, or two, she doesn't care or doesn't have enough to go forward with it, because there's clearly, there's a lot more focus on the werewolves, as we discovered, like, as time went by. So,
It's so
it's
ridiculous.
one
Yeah,
of
I mean, I
those
just-
two, really.
It's
I
so
just don't
ridiculous.
think
So
there's
she
all
had
that much that's interesting about the Mifwas, honestly.
Well, that's
So
the
you're
problem.
opting for option two. Well, if there were other lore that that the words have explored about that, and we find about that at some other point, then obviously that would that point that your mind would probably change in that situation. But currently, there's not that much interesting, but we don't know what there could be, and that's what Aiden's trying to say here. Wow, this really does look like a butter bunch reaction. I'm the mediator again.
Yeah.
No way, but it's not that I don't get what you're saying. It's that I disagree with Aiden from a foundational level. Like, I don't. Who cares about the Mifwas? Like, I don't know that that means that she
Aphmau
forgot.
doesn't. I care about
He
the
does.
Yeah,
Mifwas.
That's
and
the
I
answer to the
don't-
question. He
yeah.
does.
And I don't blame Aphmau. Like, there's never been anything all that special about the Mifwas.
I mean, to be fair, werewolves didn't need to be that special either, lore-wise. If Aphmau really wanted to, Aphmau could give
No,
them zero
but that's
lore
just
too.
what she does. There doesn't need to
Yeah,
be anything
werewolves
special
were
about
made
any of them.
special.
She just
Werewolves are
decided.
made
Yeah.
special, so Mifwa could also have been made special.
Yeah, especially
under the
because
same
why
circumstances,
would they
on the same
be?
mind.
Especially because
It's
facts that
just
we
so
same as levels would be.
unnecessary, though.
be
The werewolves were also unnecessary to be made
Yeah.
special, but that
But
was how
Aphmau
the
made 'em
story was decided to
special.
go.
But that's not true, though, because evidently they've served like an actual purpose in the story, which would indicate that was kind of just the plan. Like, there was clearly a reason. Like, you have to have the thing in order for the thing to happen. Like.
No, but
They're just
when
not a
you say
thing in
something's not
Mifwas.
necessary, technically nothing in a story is necessary if you find another way to achieve the same goal. It just
Yeah,
so
but
happens
this
that
is
she
the
chose
way,
to go down the
so,
werewolf
like-
avenue instead.
Yeah, because
Let's
why
prove him
not?
wrong.
Like,
Yeah, and then why not Meatball
Hey.
lore? Why not?
because
why
it's just not all that necessary. Like, I just said, like,
werewolf lore also?
Yeah,
in most
what I'm saying
shows are all that
Phoebe, what I'm
necessary.
saying about things being necessary or not, if you're following your logic as best I can here, is that the story that we've seen so far was made from the decision to develop the werewolves, So of course, like from all the werewolf stuff we've got now, for the story we did get, the werewolves were necessary, but there could have been something else. And what Aiden's saying is there's that missed potential. The same way that you can develop a story and make the werewolves a necessary part to it, that same thing could have been done for the Mifwas, but just wasn't, and that's what Aiden is lamenting.
right, but the implication of, like, her forgetting it and it being, like, some sort of mistake, it's just not. It's just as simple as no one cares.
Okay, well, like I said, then it's one of two options. One of them is that she did forget. The other one is that she deemed it unnecessary. We don't know which one it is. Either one could be true.
Toss me a bucket. I hate watch duty.
Toss me a bucket and a mop. That's
Hey,
What?
you're quiet. For once. The other
That's a wandering, aimless pirate.
humans speak of this place as if it's an underwater grave. You will be
Oh,
fine.
well, it's an above water grave, actually.
I was about to say it's an island. Unless let's talk about Mariana for some reason, which it might be at this point. We don't know what happened to it.
This is the fault of my family. If they hadn't tossed that hermit crab, Zane.
I mean, it's
This is a
kind of
matter for the Remaves, not the Lycans, Zane. Don't you realize? It's one of those again. It's always the Remave that says this.
God,
Still
that wasn't
somehow.
even true when he said it, by the way. That's so annoying about that quote. It wasn't even true when he said it because he also equally peeved off Michael and his cronies. He
I don't know
equally
about
did that.
equally. I don't know about
No,
equally,
he
but certainly to a certain
participated. He
degree.
participated with Derek to imprison them. So yeah, no, he equally participated in that situation. And then he also stole half the money along with Derek. So now he equally peeved them off. Or at least Garte did.
The reason I'm saying it probably wasn't equally was because of the obvious, increased interest in the Ultima in general that was withheld specifically by Derek and repressed by Derek. So that's probably adds to the level of peeve. That's what I mean.
Matters is we're getting everyone out of here safe. Got it.
Right.
Especially because the hunt for
Max
the Ultima
peeve
was what was,
levels.
being focused on there, and that was a Lycan situation, technically speaking.
I mean,
But I said it before, Garte was just trying to save face, protect his family. I get it. I disagree, but I get it.
Captain.
Garte is such a bad
Captain,
person. Just
wanna
in
see
general.
this?
Yeah, how dare you try to protect his family and bail them out? I mean,
Okay, well, yeah, but also they're already involved, so they're too involved. If they get captured, they're just gonna be put in holding anyways. Best case scenario. So that was like a very weird scene.
I don't know about being put into like the holding best case scenario. Wasn't that the same episode where where Melissa?
What is it?
Silvana, no, that was episode 1 or 2.
Oh, okay, well,
Silvana,
wasn't that far off.
Take a look.
Silvana and Eric were being literally held captive the whole time, so that would just happen to Derek or Eric. Eric. No, names. Gareth, Garte. I know the My Street characters. Why are their names so similar?
I study the show.
I
he
do
does.
study
I jest.
I know everything, or almost everything. I watch a show, Iron Review. Ooh.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Just metal
Yeah, you
eyes.
tell us.
Aphmau being transported.
That bastard betrayed her.
Indeed.
What? I get my hands on him.
Easy, Aaron. Don't go doing something stupid. This plane is already bad.
I mean, he's never done that before, has he?
Shit crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this plot before.
I've been wanting an excuse to buy a new ship.
He's gonna put me in debt.
Lawrence is going to commit insurance fraud. Yay! Always sunny title. Lawrence commits insurance fraud.
Isn't it?
Oh, so much. You'll be paying me back for years.
Captain, how's this?
The way he says that with the wanted poster thing going on.
Beautiful art.
It's a piss poor job, but it will do.
Yay!
It looks like someone peed on it, actually.
Molotov cocktail!
Our hard
Yeah, it's
work!
actually a piss rich jump.
Survive this now.
It's an oil-rich job. It was an oil painting, so it burned him recently.
Oh
Straight to the
god.
ducts. Do not.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait, is oil paint super flammable? I never tried burning
Yeah,
oil.
It's
paint.
oil, so I...
Oh.
That's how fuel works. It lights on fire.
Well, yeah, but I don't know how like the oil paint fermenting process makes it more or less flammable. If that makes any sense, how it alters.
I think it's also the
flammability.
contents of the oil themselves that this is that alone is enough. I think rather than if chemically changing. Because I mean, paint is an emulsion anyway, so already it's comprised of two things that don't mix together.
Lawrence, I need you to promise me one thing.
Oh, let's hear it.
But we won't hear. All right.
If I die, I'm not paying you back. That's what he made him promise. Totally.
Yes. Okay. Of course, Gareth. I promise that you will not pay me back if you die. Yeah. Shake on it, I guess. You feel
Man. You know, I'm gonna be honest. These guys are pretty strong from looking around like a giant glass container with a human-sized person, as well as full water. I know they're like two
Seeing
of
as
them.
seeing as who they work for, I imagine that, yeah, I mean...
That's pretty impressive. You're
Yeah, I
lucky
imagine that
around a
Stone would
lot.
probably have, like, hired the strongest. Also, I have been a pallbearer in the past, so that it is, you know, that it is physically possible to do.
Well, yeah, but the casket's not full of water, no, is it?
No, that's also true, yeah. Water is heavy, yeah. By the way, glass?
Yeah,
Okay, glass.
glass. She was in a glass container before.
Oh, I guess they didn't want to, you know, show you know, the public what was going on.
Show the public a mermaid. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Ivan's like, I knew it!
Really took her.
I don't. I mean, right? Don't the public already know that mermaids exist? Isn't that like
No.
a thing?
No, the public does not know that. It's not common knowledge.
I figured that would just be pretty basic knowledge, but all right.
If that was true, last season's plot with Ivan wouldn't have gone the way it did because, you know, Ivan's whole thing
This
was
season's plot with
no one
everyone would
believed
have gone the way that it did.
him.
Sir, should I render aid to her?
No, I care little for her survival.
But sir,
I mean, you care enough to keep her in water.
When
Like,
I
keep
heard
you,
this
so-
character's voice, my immediate instinct was like, "Oh wow, demon warlock in here. That's crazy."
he's the first
Is that
mermaid
the
ever.
Demon Warlock's voice actor?
I think so. It sounds identical, so I mean,
I don't think it is. I could be
I don't
wrong.
have the video pulled up because I closed all the tabs so I'd be in sync again with everyone. So you lot can check that. If it's someone named James Brown Jr., that's the correct person.
I'll look it up.
She's the second I've seen.
What?
The
Ooh.
mermaid serves
I mean,
only
he's-
one purpose.
He rips off his head Mission Impossible style and it's Ivan the whole time.
Captain Stone is voiced by Nick B. Scatchery? I
Oh
can't
no,
read.
then. All right, then.
Purpose.
I can't
to
read
force
that last
that
name very
Aaron
well.
Saber to his death.
Good luck putting her on the
Alright.
guillotine.
Run forever.
I don't know. I mean,
The
I
battle
hear him, and
times.
it just sounds like a exact copy, though. But all right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, sometimes it's like that.
For the dead.
Well, you know, you gotta have a sexy. villain
I was
voice.
convinced that Odd De La Robbie and Brock from Pokemon were voiced by the same person in the Spanish dubs, and it turns out no.
The crowds gather seeking justice. I seek a challenge. Until then, the mermaid remains hidden. Understood.
Yes, sir. Though, I need inform you of the wolf.
What of it?
Based on multiple marine encounters, the wolf appears to be tracking Aaron's saber.
Let them try. The hand of fate is stacked in my favor, and with Aaron's saber in my grasp, I'll ensure he begs me for death.
Let them try regarding the wolf. Okay. Oh, well, I guess I haven't determined anything about them, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, as an audience, the little glimpses we see of them are just like a mask and a void.
Sir, I have to ask, what are you going to do with this mermaid? She's clearly unwell. We don't know what will happen if she remains in captivity.
Enough. You are dismissed.
Traitor!
Enjoy your last moments.
Oh, look at that. You've left Aphmau completely alone in a glass container,
I
guarded in a room. Sure
wonder
hope
what-
nothing happens. I think it already looks cracked. Oh, no, that was... Oh, yeah, it already has a crack in it, yeah.
I mean, no wonder she looks so unwell. She's just been slamming her shoulder into this for possibly hours.
Which is why her eyes are back.
Well, I imagine they're also not feeding her.
Wrong way,
Feeding
wrong
fine.
way. Do it on the other side, Aphmau. Do it the other side. That's what's already cracked there. What'll be really funny is if she like knocks the container over and then it cracks, but because it's now like sealed to the floor, it just doesn't change anything.
Well, it would drain the water from the thing at least. That point.
I mean, it'll slowly soak through the wood flooring, probably. Yeah. Take a while.
Gotcha. Although, would that make it easier to break the glass or harder to break the glass without the water around you?
You can get more momentum in air than you can in water, so easier.
Huh?
That ship ain't slowing down! And it's on fire!
Why would it slow down? It's on fire. And these are the docks. Oh, holy hells, you're right.
Wow, okay. I've never seen a ship travel that fast. Especially when someone set fire to the sails, which... How does it continue to... I mean, I guess preservation of momentum, but how did it accelerate that much whilst being on fire?
If you've never seen a ship sail that fast, you must have never seen Minecraft Diaries.
I mean, Diaries
Well,
did kind of work like
did the
that.
Minecraft Diaries ship have its sails on fire? I don't know. I think they might have sacrificed it.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sure.
Come out!
I think based on the various videos of Aphmau weeping, I would say that, yeah, probably the sails probably went on fire a couple times.
Oh, thank God it's the Marines! Help us! Our merchant vessel is under attack.
Yes, those filthy pirates tried to kill us all.
Okay. That alone makes him well as a character.
Pirates?
That delivery.
Hurry! They're still aboard!
Good thing they all had those coats. Yeah.
Saber!
Wasn't he?
Well, I mean, they were sewing them in a previous scene. The shot, we had a few shots of that.
What's the meaning of this? Why are there so many Aaron sabers?
I'm Aaron Saber. No, I'm Aaron Saber. No, I'm Aaron Saber.
They're all Aaron
I'm Aaron
Saber.
Saber, and so's my wife.
Oh, he died.
Indeed. I don't have a death count for this season.
Worked.
Marines got the memory of a blue tang. Now you're part of the plan. Got it?
On it.
Yeah, now you don't have a ship to escape, though. I don't know what your plan is. I don't know how you're gonna get out of here. You don't have a ship.
Well, I mean, Lawrence did say he wants to buy a new ship, so maybe he's going to claim insurance.
Lawrence has to survive this, though, for that to happen. How are you gonna survive?
Well, if Lawrence doesn't survive, he won't need a ship to escape in.
Oh my God. But how are you gonna
Aiden,
survive on a
crazy-
marine-infested area? I don't know. That's like being that's like a military being after you. You being stuck on an island full of them. It seems
Multiple same jacket. But actually, this would explain, by the way, why he got the jacket back when he left it a few episodes ago. But also, I love that image of the same image like Shaggy picking up the same green shirt for dinner.
To be fair, at least having having tons of the same green T-shirt is at least a lot more plausible than a elegantly sewn jacket. To be fair, green T-shirts are a lot easier to come by.
I can confirm this. The Mario Galaxy movie did have a couple, multiple copies of the same outfit for Mario and Luigi, but it was 3 each, so it wasn't implausible or anything.
You. Women happen
You know,
to me.
I gotta say about the ship problem. Crazy news, Aiden. The word pirate, it does generally entail theft.
Okay, but Lawrence did specifically say he wanted an excuse to buy a new ship, so that
but if they're
suggests
trying
not
to
theft.
escape, I think it's fair that they would maybe skip past that step.
Yeah, he might, commit piracy. Yes. By the way, I need to rewind. I rewound this line because I want to hear what led to it.
Another merchant.
What happened to you?
Women happen to me.
Yeah, no, one of them set fire to my ship. She was called Adele or something. I don't know.
Fire at the docks! Hurry!
And
No way did someone named Adele
Oh my
enter
god.
the chat right
Yeah.
as I made that joke.
Jacob, you're using your powers to speak things into existence now, apparently. Your oracle powers
I
have
mean, it doesn't have the E at the end, but wow, that is close.
your oracle powers have expanded.
Welcome to the chat, Adele.
Oh god.
Pissed off a maiden, eh?
Something like that. I digress. Money talks. So,
That's so much.
Money talks, so pick it up off the floor, peasant.
There's a whole episode in SpongeBob about the talking money.
That's true.
Oh
I remember.
god, I
it.
forgot about that one.
Mr. Krabs dates it.
give
yes.
me every
Yes.
last barrel.
Help! Help! Aaron Saber is on the loose!
What's going on?
Aaron Saber is on the loose. That's what's going on.
Well, he's
I
captured.
thought we were.
Yeah, he's captured, obviously.
Quiet!
Yeah, the news of that spread very quickly, apparently.
Aaron Saber is captured. Everything's under control. Ha-ha! It is I, Aaron Saber!
I was about to say it. Yeah.
Who wants to die first?
Molotov cocktail.
Imagine if this is how Aaron became wanted in the first place. A bunch of people cosplaying as him, just slandering his name and making it fun.
Yeah, but we know it's because they think he murdered everyone
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
Hangman's Rest thing.
Also, that character there reminds me a lot of Lo, actually, from Diaries, who also like to don disguises.
Oh, you know what? Lo would be so good in the show. Can we get Lo in the show?
Ah, after him!
This town is gonna starve because of them. I like as soon as you cut the music away from the chase scene, it immediately lowers the stakes. It's like that one scene in Boss Baby where they're like having like that like you know they're very they're high octane chase or something, and then it cuts to the reaction shot and they're just like scroll very slowly past.
Bought a bunch of barrels, pulling the barrels. The wheels aren't moving, but Minecraft. But Minecraft.
I've got a lovely bunch of big barrels.
Oh, someone died.
What the hell's?
Oh, he said multiple. Interesting, interesting premise there.
They believe in more than one afterlife.
I guess the Nether's not the only one that exists.
Yeah, but
I don't think the net.
well,
I
yeah, but
don't
more
think
than
the
one
Nether was ever
afterlife is
meant
not
to-
the same thing as like hell is a very explicit like name. Like my interpretation is probably referring to like the multiple circles, right? Inside of like Dante's stories.
I was gonna go with Norse mythology, but yeah, that works too.
Wake up!
Also, I don't know if the Nether is
Wake up!
necessarily meant to be the underworld in any form or sense, because I think the only times we've ever had a reference that people went there after death were technically Zane and Aaron, but that's only because Shadow wanted Aaron there.
Well, that and
Earlier-
every Shadow Knight to have ever existed, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's more like resurrecting their corpse. I think of it to me, Shadow Knights come off more as have you ever seen like the Vampire Diaries, vampires? Because you get vampire blood in your system, snap your neck, get resurrected as vampire. It seems to just kind of resurrect corpses, and then essentially bring them back to life and as Shadow Knights, essentially.
I thought they resurrected souls because I mean there wasn't much of a corpse left for them to recover for Zane specifically. So
Maybe
I imagine it would be
that-
like more souls rather than the corpses themselves.
Also, my personal thing when it comes to multiverses in general is there's got to be more than one afterlife when it comes to a show with a multiverse. Because if that was the case,
Well-
there'd be like 20 Aphmaus and one
It
afterlife.
was more of a statement on like, like their presumed theology rather
Yeah.
than the canonicity of it.
the canonicity of their theology.
I would also not necessarily agree, just on the basis that, like, we have no reason to assume that there's multiple versions of Irene, right? Like, and we know based on like previously established lore that Irene would like exist there, and so I will also note that like the Nether in relation to like afterlife and all that is weird because like presumably you would be correct, but also the Nether is also maybe just straight up connected to the void itself. And so there is kind of like a weird connection with the Nether that never really gets addressed in the first place.
I mean,
If we go by how Minecraft itself actually works, if the void being underneath the overworld but also above the Nether, maybe that's where the connection is.
well, with
void
the
is
Nether
just
being its
literally
own dimension
the
as
void
well,
between.
with the Nether being its own dimension, I mean, the void itself seems to be everything around the multiverse. That's why people having rough portal travel gives them void burns, because they're traveling through unstable portals or
The equivalent of
transporting
dimension space, yeah.
Yeah, which is essentially hurting them because they're not supposed to be crossing
Well,
realms in that
I
way.
suppose if they're traveling through unstable portals, kudos to Lady Grandma for pulling off a stable portal with the remaining magic of Deimos. Anyway.
That is pretty
Well,
impressive,
it's-
actually, in hindsight.
It's also kind of an aspect of like it's also not just about the portal. It's also like the void itself is its own living entity, which we've seen as well a few times. And it seems that like depending on how much power the void as an entity has is also reflective of the amount of damage one gets through the portals and such.
I guess that's a similar concept to chaos in Greek mythology, which is why I freaked out so much with Rip in the Dark.
Still breathing. How the hell did you get this far into town?
That's how.
Oh, there it is.
What the?
The
Speaking of
criminal
void
always returns to
people,
the scene of the crime.
speaking of void people, the wolf is a void itself,
Don't
apparently.
come any closer.
Apparently.
If you look at void in Final Fantasy lore, it's considered to be an interdimensional realm, which I guess would line up
So-
with something with Aphmau, but in this case, being a living interdimensional realm instead.
Well, we see at the end of Void Paradox, again, deeply underrated. It's a tragedy we don't have a season 2, but at the end of Void Paradox, it ends off on a cliffhanger where they do end up using the Void to enter like a space between the universes. Like there's a bunch of beacons and stuff that lead to the other realities.
Right.
Know what's good for you. You'll walk away. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Okay, power counter for starters. They either have skin that is a metal proof or like is extremely durable, so some sort of enhanced durability.
I'm not
Or void
convinced
skin.
this thing has skin.
Yeah, but I mean, it could, as you mentioned, now with being a void person, it could be void skin. You can't exactly damage the void by swinging a sword around.
So enhanced durability. As we go through this review, since the void, since the wolf is relevant, I want to go through all the powers we see in display.
Okay,
Also-
fair enough. I will in turn do another Butter Bunch thing and draw a comparison to Dragon Ball, because there is a moment in Dragon Ball Z where Trunks attacks Goku for the first time as like a proof of concept sparring match, basically, and Goku stops his sword with like one finger. Again, power curve.
I also want to mention. I also want to keep in mind the void powers for the future episodes, whatever. If we ever see this character again, on the pure basis of if this character stops exhibiting certain powers at a certain point, and then that becomes a continuity issue. It's like we've seen them do this. We've seen them do this canonically, and in this situation, they should have easily did this, but instead of doing this, they just didn't, and they stopped exhibiting his power beyond X episode and just never did it again for some unknown reason. It was
But
really weird.
I have a very clear visual of someone at a con asking Aphmau that exact question.
Yeah, and
Well, you
here's
see,
the thing.
in episode 18.
And that's the another weird thing. God, I want to go through all of Aphmau's stuff and like dissect it specifically on the topic of the void, because it seems like each project we get like some weird small detail that never gets like mentioned again in another project, but we know that the void is always like consistent. Is like the void is like the most cosmic horror like thing that Aphmau has ever done, and she just doesn't use it to its full experience. But yeah, it is weirdly intense, and like its full scale seems to differ depending on the context.
Well, you see, BB, if she's not using the void to its full extent, perhaps it's simply not necessary.
But see, she brings it back every time, so clearly it is.
What are you?
What the hell do you want?
Is that your answer or a follow-up question?
From him? The Marines already have this man.
His final breath draws near.
We have like a chrysalis.
Yeah,
chrysalis like a thing.
Pardon my interruption.
Yes.
I don't know if that's what she says in the English version. I'm just, you know.
It's part of my intrusion.
Okay, yeah, okay. In Spanish, it's perdone que interrumpa, which, yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, okay. Fair enough. I want to do that to Everly at some point, but just go through all the Believer in Gasoline voices at the same time.
Hunting him.
Yeah, to be fair, this is the first time Lawrence and eventually Aaron's probably going to figure that part out. They didn't know this. The audience knew it. The audience knew since, what, episode 3? 4? I don't know. I forget which episode we found now, actually.
I don't know, because the word hunt, and of course maybe the void maybe the wolf simply isn't hunting him, and it's maybe kind of just like a bias of like this is the first time we've seen it or whatever. But like the term hunt would imply that Aaron is some kind of game, or that he's being sought out as a sense of sport. Previously, what we knew was that there was a ghost ship following him, not strictly speaking hunting him per se.
Well, we knew the wolf was hunting someone, and then in a prior episode where we learned about the wanting poster, we found out Aaron was
saying
being
is the
hunted.
very specific terminology of hunting would imply some sort of sport to it, right? So it's just an odd detail.
I
I don't know if it's an odd detail, but it's definitely an escalation in stakes for Aaron specifically.
Yeah, and apparently
and
once
also
Aaron's
the
dead.
second Artemis comparison that in this video, because I made an Iphigenia sacrifice joke earlier. But anyway.
Yeah, and once Aaron dead, so we at least know its motive with Aaron. It's not a friendly one, which I guess we could have guessed that, but you know. It's been confirmed.
I made you the most wanted man in all of these isles because I wanted to save you. Yeah, I think we could figure out.
Yeah, well, no, the wolf didn't do that. Caspian did that. Caspian made the most wanted man on these isles. That was Caspian and Caspian and the Siren. They're the ones who spread the lie about the Hangman's arrest. The wolf's a separate thread. The wolf's not.
The wolf is Caspian's alter ego.
I don't think that's true. If that was true, I feel like we would have saw Caspian's face in that one scene for the reveal.
It is also possible that the wolf manipulated Caspian for some reason. Not that it seems like it would need to, but
no, it wouldn't. Yeah,
Hey, you know what's crazy about this? No one's ever gonna believe you saw a talking crab.
Okay, there's a Zach Speaks Giant Reddit reading like story video of the same idea of like basically a D&D character that's a talking horse because his father was like a horse-headed minotaur, which is not really a minotaur in that case, but anyway, I don't know how that's the thing. And then mother was a centaur, and it's gonna get like the horse half of both of them, and it just like it becomes like you know the best rogue and thief in the business because it just every time it's there, it goes to like someone's going, shh, no one will believe you. And then Punky Doodles made it into
Sure
an
that you got
animatic.
this?
Yes, it's been a while, but snip. Wow.
Oh, we had to type himself up
I've
for that.
tried that without snipping the human attached to the clothes.
Wait, okay. So if he'd said he never succeeded without, or never done that without snipping the human attached, I could say, okay, maybe he was trying that, but like, accidentally. But that suggests that he is fully able to snip humans with clothes and never bothered to just snip the clothes.
Yeah.
Lucky for him.
No, he just made really bad rolls before.
Oh, okay. All right, Zane. Okay, sure. Talk about not using your full potential right there.
Just hope that nobody noticed it.
Really think this plan is going to work?
It's too late to question it now.
This is, by the way, the
Come
hottest
on.
Aaron has ever looked in any of Aphmau's stuff. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, surely there should be like a massive like laceration at the back, where Zane snipped it off in one go. I would love it if he just he turns around and we see the fully exposed back. And now I shall leave with my dignity intact.
This way.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. Boring.
Hey, Lawrence died.
Lawrence.
It's amazing how the same track.
Come on, get up.
I can snip him.
Yeah, go on, Lawrence, get up. Get up and walk. Come on. Stop being a drama queen.
Wait.
I'm just saying, if the wolf waited around for like 5 extra minutes, he would have found it.
I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought this was a trap made by the wolf for Aaron, but okay.
What the hell happened to you?
The wolf. It's hunting you.
I mean, I guess Lawrence did tell him that Aaron's with the Marines, or Aaron's been captured by the Marines, so I guess the wolf would assume to go to the Marines.
Oh, we're going to see the island ablaze.
Stones.
I mean, there's fire in the thumbnail. There's fire.
That's true. That's true, and it didn't seem like he was on the ship when that happened, so yeah.
Kill you.
I've been through a lot more than you know. I'm not letting some hunter.
Here's a
stop me
question,
now.
actually.
Yeah?
And I've been wondering this for a little bit. It's been a while since I've seen the trailer, but I don't think we ever see the mask. Do we think the wolf here is the same wolf that disintegrates that one man's home inside of the My Street trailer?
I believe some people have compared the two masks together.
Okay, I've talked about this. Okay, I've talked about this. The wolf mask in My Street. Okay, so in the My Street trailer, My Street One Last Time trailer, we actually don't see the entity that attacks the man in the home's face or anything about.
That's what I thought.
We just see like a goopy monster attacking, but we know what that monster that attacked me in the home was from the My Street Season 7 poster, being a void wolf with purple eyes. We know that. But
in the
person wearing the mask in that trailer is some girl running. But she's wearing a version of the mask without the red X on the eye. There isn't a red X on the eye in that trailer. So assumably this takes place before, after, or these are two separate entities.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say. People have compared the two masks, and that's the difference.
They're slightly different. They're slightly
They basically pulled a Rick and Morty on us. Red X.
Well, and see, that's not necessarily what I meant. I meant is that interdimensional goop creature the same thing as this, as the wolf? But you do bring up another interesting point. Well, sure, I'm saying, what do you think? But the other thing is also the mask. I get it. The girl and this creature probably not the same thing, but
probably
there's no way in hell that these things are not connected. Why do they have the same mask? Why though? Because the girl seems to be significantly better aligned than whatever this freak is. All right, look, I don't know that she's necessarily a good guy, but she's not this thing.
She doesn't seem to be evil from that one teaser we got. Probably.
Like,
I mean,
unless there's some sort of
one
like,
teaser, you know. We all have good days and bad days.
Oh
Sure.
god. But
unless there's
but
some
yeah,
sort of like weird like void cult that exists as of like My Street season 8.
actually, that would be an awesome concept if Aphmau goes for like
It
a
would
cult
be.
of the
I'm just saying
void.
there's no evidence for it. It'd be sick, but there's no evidence for it.
But yeah, we don't know, but these two seasons are definitely connected. I think Jason said something about Jason at some point on some post said like these seasons are connected, but you don't have to watch Mermaid Tales to understand season 8, but they are connected in some way.
Correct.
That's
I know what's
that's
been
at least
said.
official news from Jason.
I know what's been said. I just mean, what do you guys think? Anyone have any ideas at all about this?
I mean, my personal theory is the wolf is actually the void entity itself, maybe going from world to world trying to kill Aaron for whatever reason. Or maybe it's trying to hunt, but that's
if the void entity is the living embodiment of this dimension, it stands to reason that much like most other divinities out there, it can manifest in different forms at the same time in multiple places.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I
Or
would
take
say
on
that
different
this is
forms at different points.
I will say this is a significantly more mortal form than it took before, because if you go to, this is a wild pool. If you go to one of the Aphmau SMP videos, there's one that references the void, and it's still kind of like goofy silly, but towards the end, you do see the void itself come through a massive portal, and it looks far more freaky than this thing. Like, it's very unmistakably not human in the slightest.
I mean,
Like, I don't know. It's just it's just,
either yes. Yeah, so it could be the same thing with multiple forms. It could be that a corrupted mortal acolyte cult person of some kind, or it could or simply
I mean, it could also
be life made from the void itself that's not directly.
It could.
Right,
it
and
could
that's
be
the
like,
other thing. If it's that last one, there's also a question like, is it connected to like the gray like void creatures from Void Paradox? Because we haven't seen those again.
I mean, that's why it could be wanting to kill Aaron. If it kills Aaron, it could be like that time it tried to kill MCD Lawrence and Void Paradox. That could actually cause the void to get like a foothold in this world, essentially corrupting it and destroying it.
The question would be why Aaron specifically would be the key in that case.
I don't know.
This Aaron particularly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess questions to be asked for later.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
actually, here's a weird thing. Actually, if we want to mention like, hey, why Aaron? If we want to pull out the fact that Aaron is connected in some way to Shad, or at least a version, but we're gonna say like archetypally, right? There is a connection between Aaron and Shad. Shad made a really odd reappearance in My Street very recently as the Destroyer, and if we recall, Shad, when we first saw him in the history of Aphmau stuff, was locked within the Nether, which is, again, connected to the Void. So...
yeah, okay. Maybe the wolf could also just be, just be sent by Shad or be Shad. I don't know.
I've got a barrel with your name on it.
So there we go. We end up with 4 separate theories. I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Like this.
Their flags just have uranium.
just like traces of lead. You take the scanner up to it. Beep, 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 beep.
I mean, that. What else did paint have in those days?
Oh, God.
Why? You break.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Her arm's gonna have a wild bruise on it.
She was hitting the tank one way. Oh, the camera guess just like shifted the other way. Okay.
I need to get out of here.
Wait, there was a wall behind her. She was hitting the like towards the wall, but then collapsed to the side.
No, she was hitting it towards like the room. She wasn't hitting it towards the wall. She was leaning her shoulder into the room. That.
Oh, okay. All right. I misinterpreted when the sound effect was going. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's.
That's what I was telling her to use before. Yeah.
Okay, I need to get out of here.
I mean, the damage to the tank, I kind of wish didn't look like this. Specifically, she only hit one part of the panel, but I mean, you know. Also, I feel like there should be more water on the floor. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, maybe just again, it just sank through the floorboards.
She scooted her stomach on broken glass, by the way.
and on splintery wood, and on friction-full carpet.
I swear,
her stomach is just gone. The skin underneath her right now is missing.
Oh, hi. I can explain.
Would you mind not leaving a trail of blood on my floors and carpet? How did that happen?
It's
Physically, how did that?
It's a very elucidating necklace.
I guess. Which is not good design if that's the case.
Listen, as someone who likes to occasionally wear necklaces, I like ones that I put over my head. I don't like the ones with the clamp because my motor skills aren't good enough to like clamp
okay,
it.
but if someone's holding you and lifting you up, how would that just okay anyway.
You think
I love his glow effect on his eyes.
Don't you?
Are you projecting? I think you're projecting.
Please.
When I'm done with your so-called captain, I'm going to gut you like the fish you are!
I don't think that tastes very good, I'm gonna be honest.
Wait, so you want to deal with the captain before gutting her, but you didn't care about her survival, i.e. if she died before we arrived?
No.
That actually felt like she like coughed up some blood there.
The last mermaid I saw hated the air. How interesting you can overcome it.
Okay, so I think this is a cool little anecdote because he's probably referencing, honestly, I'm guessing the first mermaid siren we met in the show, who was in that cage underground. I think he's referencing her, hypothetically, in this instant here.
Okay.
Because she was in a cage, and, you know. So, that's a sunken ship, so I assume she just made the ship sink with her siren powers. Probably. But, anyways, I like that he's noting that, and I like how maybe he's, like, thinking more about it. But at the same time, when you met her, she was breathing air, which that kind of hurts this line. You met her, she was tied to a ship, breathing air, consciously, so, you know.
Yeah, which also further proves the redundancy of having the water and having to force your
you should have known from the start she doesn't need water to breathe. Which I do wonder what her body actually looks like. Like, how do the gills interact with her lungs that she now has? Like, scientifically speaking, because you would have both there. How does your body actually react like that?
I mean, my guess is that you know they simply don't function. It's kind of like the human appendix.
Sir, what happened?
We need to tighten security. There's more to this mermaid than I thought.
I managed to break glass.
We need to tighten security. And by tighten security, I mean add security.
Yeah.
Who would have thought she'd break out of a glass tank?
Who would have guessed it? I didn't think mermaids could do that. Okay, Aphmau, see those books over there? Start going through the shelves and try to get like a really heavy book, or maybe try to find like a really sharp piece of paper.
What does this one say? Azarath Metreon Zinthos. Oh, I'm free.
Jokes on you. She can't read. She can't read, as established in this season.
It just cuts back to her every so often in the episode, just going like, as.
Almost to the gate.
Zink! Watch where you're putting your claws. Why didn't we get into separate barrels? I need to claw spread. Well, if you just hold.
Claw spread.
No, you don't.
Hold
What are
still.
you talking about? You don't have that much room to spread. You don't have much like the stature to spread your claws that far.
Problem. My claws get pinchy.
Halt! Where?
I mean, it's not to say that the claws get pinchy so much as it is the fact that he just doesn't hold still at any point anymore.
Where do you think you're going?
Inspector. What seems to be the problem?
Inspector. Keep it together.
That's a good detail there of him saying inspector like that to a woman.
Odd. We normally don't expect deliveries before an execution.
I have orders. And orders saying to bring this cargo around this time.
All incoming cargo is subject to inspection by order of Captain Stone.
Ah, of course. Well, Inspector,
Of course.
have that. I have nothing to hide.
If you act confident,
Yeah.
you may want to check. Darny wants to check. No. Check everyone except for the one Aaron's in. What are you covering? He doesn't have a mouth there. What are you covering?
His airways.
I know it's like a narrative. I know it's hard of like inhuman creatures to show that human quality that you want to show, but like, come on, it's really.
This is the same. This is
How
the
that
same show that
works.
gave. This is the same show that gave us out of breath mermaids on multiple occasions. So yeah.
You may not want to open that barrel.
Everything is to be inspected. Open
Right.
it now.
Oh, hey,
Oh, so
no,
he's gonna open it. Okay, yeah. See, now he's been more suspicious. It's like if you want to like try to jump the guy or something, now it's gonna be impossible to do.
All right, if you insist.
Oh, unless the plan was for him to look in it and then just not show the contents.
Ha ha!
Or not.
Oh,
Okay.
what the?
Well, talk about facial scars.
Told you, it's live fish. Crabs are especially violent.
Oh, fine. Be on your way.
Gladly.
Gee, thanks for saving my life, Zane, with your amazing claws.
He's not supposed to be talking right now. He'll thank you later, Zane.
Oh, sorry.
Not so fast. I said be on your way. We'll take it from here.
That's not really necessary. As I said, it's live food, and I can't just...
Leave it.
You did.
Shit. What's
Oh
going
yeah,
on?
sure. Push him into his cart.
Out
Yes.
there? Hey, my shine.
Did Zane just cough that out of nowhere? Sir? Everyone's dropping their items this episode, apparently.
Yeah.
Zane just pulled a Rico from Penguins of Madagascar there.
Here's the thing, I think my
Oh.
interests in Aphmau are so different than a lot of the fandom at this point, but like it frustrates me so much that we spent so many episodes doing other things than focusing on that realm breaker and the wolf. Those are the things I care about. I have not cared about like any of these other plot lines.
I don't know.
And
I mean,
it's absurd to me that we have
I-
that it has teased me for 13 episodes and only focused on it for the first few and then never.
I remember Aiden being concerned it was never going to come back when there was the presumption this would be like 10 episodes long. Presumption by him and no one else. But
Hey,
yeah, like I
they-
honestly like this not coming back until later and like kind of like it's one thing I said before about like the pacing of Aphmau stuff and how actually if you want to like get your fill of like having like character adventures and and get to endear yourself to like these versions of these people before things like and introduce like these things like as a slow build over time or as a I mean, I guess not
Jacob.
this so
Jacob, I have
point.
said multiple times that the evidence of Aphmau in her more recent extra non-My Street related series have leaned more into the short-term stuff. Void Paradox, that's been shorter. Phoenix Drop Days, that was shorter. Very
Phoenix
few
Drop Days, however, to be fair,
was
meant to be
Yeah,
it was meant to be longer than it was. It's just that there simply wasn't the budget to keep it going.
Yeah, but
yeah,
like
there's a definite change in like how how
Meteor Valley. Meteor Valley.
Yeah, no, the reason that I was never sold on the idea of this being like a 10 episode thing is for the very same reason that you expressed concern before, that these things would not come back at another point. But because if they're working towards a longer running time from the beginning, which they clearly were, then it makes sense to to do these things sparingly towards the beginning, have the characters set in for a bit, and then bring these aspects back when they become relevant again, which is exactly what happens. The reason I was never like I never agreed with like that assessment was because I saw almost the writing on the wall there, in a sense. The literal writing on the metaphorical wall.
Listen, guys, we can talk about this.
Oh, they want to talk about pointy swords.
I told you.
That was him bumping the cart.
Live food.
Ow.
My goodness. Okay, if he's trying to move away from you, told him to leave. Stop pushing me into the cart. I want to go somewhere.
Is that?
Oh, okay. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Okay, pause here real quick. So, this does confirm one thing which I was unsure about in this whole show, because obviously we know Sirens won Aphmau for whatever reason. And I was like, oh, is it because she could is it because she also could interact with the magic of the Soul Echo, is what it's called here, but like Realm Breaker thing. And I'm like, oh, does that mean that she's the only one who could do it? Because obviously Siren powers only worked on did try to kill Zane and other people. So I'm like, oh, so is it only work on Aphmau? But apparently this here confirms that it works on Zane too. So it's not just Aphmau, which makes me wonder if it works on Aaron too, if he were to use it on himself, or if it's only inherently magical people.
It seems to me that this kind of thing, to use like a D&D example, it seems like a magical item that requires certain attuning to, and those who are more magically inclined, like for example, the character known to collect spell books, would have an easier time with it.
Yeah, which makes me wonder what happens if Aaron slammed it, or Aaron managed to find a way to attune himself to it in some way. What he would dress up as?
He becomes a Triton.
Oh my god, would we get Mermaid Aaron in this show? If he were to use it on himself, would he?
I am not a woman, I'm a crab!
You are not a crab.
I'm a human!
Yes.
What the hell just happened?
Grover had a similar reaction when this happened in one of the Percy Jackson books.
God, by the way,
which isn't much of a spoiler, BB. It was like for a scene, and that's it. It doesn't.
By the way, seeing this makes me go, you know what would be funny if we had Roboto end up accidentally turning into a human randomly.
We had Bigglesworth turn into a human, and we did nothing with the concept.
Yeah,
it's odd to me that when Zane Aphmau kind of just looks the same forever. And so, like, when she got legs, it's like, yeah, all right, that, like, nothing seems wrong here. Now, when Zane becomes a human, it strikes me as odd that he looks nothing like any of his other counterparts.
It's the lack of mask that's, like, skewing that significantly, and the two eyes.
Also, for pulling from the multiverse, again, he's probably from a universe where Zane never got a Garfed in the eye with the Brock snowball.
Garfed. Yeah, I think that's I think what you're describing is only a My Street version of those events.
No,
but yes.
no. I think it also applies to Diaries Garth too. Diaries Garth.
I don't
is-
think Garth chucked a snowball in his eye, and that's how he lost his eye in MCD. I don't remember how it happened. I don't think it was that.
They were wearing their Diaries outfits during the flashback scene.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible it happened twice the same way.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's only because at the time they were still like alternate universes and the lore was not fleshed out and retconned.
I mean, that is true.
That applies.
But but
Hey, look, I mean, but I've said it before. Garth can canonically transform into his Jury of 9 form. We just never used it. Talk about powers never come back.
I'm going to have
It
to ask
is.
you to
I
leave.
still think it would have been really awesome to see Jury of 9 Garth and Shadow Knight Lawrence in season 6 just throwing
Absolutely.
hands.
But that wouldn't even make sense with the lore of those forms. Because the only reason Garth was able to do that because he was given like a relic. I think it was a relic, which was
Not in My Street.
No,
Yes,
it was given a
although
relic
we
in
do know
Diaries.
that
That's the only
Garth-
reason that form existed.
We do know
But
that Garth was,
it doesn't matter,
was
they
given
still
magical
become those
enhancements. Okay, we know Garth was given magical enhancements of a different kind at some point in his life. So it stands to reason the same people investigating one thing could have been looking into the other, especially given what happened with the canon later on.
Oh God, they're after me!
This would be like a bloodline thing.
Okay, that's cool. Right, no, that's calling it now. Levi drink time.
Oh, but there's a moment in this video that's so good. But you know,
Okay, you know what? I didn't actually manage to get a sip yet. So, all right, fine. I'm trusting you.
It's so good.
Oh, come on, ma'am. Let's go.
Stay back! I am no ma'am!
Shit.
You
Whoever that
incantation.
lunatic is, it's a distract.
Wait, it's a witch!
Oh.
She's a witch!
There you go.
I actually, when I was first watching this video, I made that joke to myself too. I'm like, "Ha, she's a witch." Oh. Set him on fire! Set him on fire!
Hey chat,
It's
so
not
this is
expected
the
to be
most
that
gory
direct.
death Aphmau has ever had.
Yeah. Not since Tales of Sir Nicanor
She
I've
won't
seen
show-
that happen.
I did it.
Yeah, I don't think
Since
she's
I
gonna
didn't
show the
pass out.
bodies as they would be, but to be clear, in universe, they are just filleted now.
Yeah.
There are piles of ash on the ground right now, yeah.
By the way, my theory of how come Zane didn't pass out because he just noted to himself that he didn't pass out after casting a bunch of spells is because he's now in a magically enhanced body that is
Sure.
able to handle more magic than Little Crab Zane. Little Crab Zane may not be able
Is
to handle a
this
lot of magic
crazy
at once.
wizard a friend of yours, or
He could be a witch. Witch, in my opinion, could be a genderless term. And
I mean, he did say I'm no woman, so
Sorry, just please don't ask.
wasn't gonna?
Non-binary Zane.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's really a term for a non-binary witch or wizard.
You know we're here. Move.
which I consider genderless. I guess in this context, maybe it would be more gendered on the pure basis of we're in medieval times, therefore associating women who
Yeah,
Zane
Zane is a witch-sud. A witch-sud.
Oh my god. That could be the genderless term. It's both smashed into one. we discovered it, guys. Trust me. Trust. Still crab walking.
I mean, it
I like
takes
how
some
they
getting
kept the
used to,
sound
as
effects.
Aphmau proved in season 1.
We still have the crab sound effects.
Yeah.
Need to find Aphmau. Split up.
We'll meet at the docks.
It's Aphmau, not Aphmau.
Aaron, be careful in there.
You too. Split up? As in, go it alone? That's a terrible idea!
Oh.
Well.
Wonderful. Fantastic time to turn into a human for the first
We
time.
get to see his freckles. We don't ever get to see his freckles in my street because the mask. They're
Yeah.
adorable.
I guess that does suggest that, the body is in fact the same, minus the hair and the multiple eyes.
Yeah, nice.
Isn't it just great? But you know, don't you just sometimes like want to stare at the wall with your homie? You know.
Well, you see, they're having a reverse staring contest. The first person to actually make eye contact with the other wins.
A reverse staring contest would be to blink constantly. Also,
I
that was a
question
really
why
cool
they
shot right there. Like that shots that we just saw there. That's fantastic.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, like that's a really sick shot. I don't see the artistic reason behind doing it, but
yeah. Sometimes you
I
don't
don't think it takes away from anything. So maybe they'll just play
Listen,
around.
sometimes you don't need an artistic reason to do a really cool shot. Sometimes you just feel the need to do it.
As long as, I will say, and I'll add the caveat to that. As long as it doesn't take away from what the more conventional or logical shot would have provided the scene, and in that case, it didn't.
Where are you?
Oh look, the remaining food supplies that have been stashed away because the stands kept burning.
Aaron, get your Molotov cocktail, hurry!
Oh, we're just crushing pears. I've seen, Minecraft parkour maps that have a similar setup to this, actually.
Honestly, the parkour in this room is giving Aphmau's most recent videos, where, she has to parkour in those, because she does that quite often. You saw a little bit in the alternates. You saw a little bit of that in the alternates.
Aphmau wants her own parkour civilization.
Oh, God!
Fund you.
Now you can do this 2-block jump and get the steak, or you can do this 1-block jump and get the potato.
Aaron Saber, I finally found you. I challenge you to a double Neo. That's right. We're getting real extreme. You die here by the hands of my parkour. I don't know. I've seen spoofs of parkour civilization. That's the best I got.
I've heard it's unironically good despite how goofy its premise is. I haven't actually stopped to watch it though.
I mean, I've mostly seen relatively cringe takes on it, to be honest, but it's eh. But I mean, honestly, that's my experience most of the time whenever I see a Minecraft short, where it's kind of a really cringe take on a concept.
Oh, okay. But yeah, because again, the stuff that I've seen is,
the only stuff I've kind of enjoyed from Minecraft shorts were some Pokemon YouTubers are doing the guess a Pokemon thing where they'll basically put down a Pokemon and be like, is this correct? And they'll be like, oh, wrong generation, right typing, etc.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or not the color of the Pokemon that it actually is, and then they'll put down different Pokemon, be like right generation, right color, right typing, but wrong evolution stage, etc.
Yeah. No, I get the idea. A bit a new take on who's that Pokemon.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's the guy with glasses, I think.
Those are shorts that I've been seeing recently. From this one channel called Box Noir that made a bunch of really funny miraculous sketches. Honestly,
for me, you shouldn't have. Huh. Looks like I get to be the big booze.
You'd be the big booze.
Well, not a mermaid. It does explain the lock.
Halt!
Still can't be spicy.
Ma'am, are you lost?
Oh my goodness. Men can have long hair.
Don't have bosoms like Aph.
You're coming with us, lady.
Like Aph specifically, as opposed to everyone else. All right, fine.
Well, look, Aphmau is just really obsessed with boobs, apparently, in this show. She's really
Aphmau, the character certainly is, given what we have about the whole food storage thing from a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, definitely not just the character though. I think IRL just kind of has a thing
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
oh wait, oh yeah, when she drew the
This is also
lemons,
true.
when she drew the lemons, she drew
Yeah,
Not,
or
not,
famous.
not even just not even just that. The old diaries thumbnails were like modeled like very specifically to give the characters curves they would not have had on a normal Minecraft modeling standards of the time.
Yeah, there is also famously Boob Senda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that which I mean, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, from the actual episode, not for like the blooper where it was like a mistake, but yeah.
Oops,
Ow! Stupid meat hands!
aren't your hands
Fair,
always kind of made
honestly.
out of meat? Technically.
Not crustaceans.
Oh, I don't know what crabs are made of. I'm not a crab.
They have like natural body armor.
Wait, oh my
Not
god.
to be confused with
Is there a crab
with the
person
spray.
class in D&D?
Well, I mean, we have ant people and worm people, so there's no reason that we can't do that.
I know, but I want to know if there's actually a pre-existing class, because if so, that'd be a really fun class to play as, because they have natural armor, so they really have a really high armor class naturally.
Oh, I see. Well, somewhere in like the D&D, like, you know.
Oh wait, I could play like a crab person paladin. Go full armor. You can't touch me. I have natural armor and additional armor.
Oh, well, actually, hold on. So in universe, there is a thing called crab folk. Let me see if that's a playable thing.
If it's not, then I'm sure that I
It is
can
against
find it on. I'm sure I can find equivalent on like homebrew on D&D Beyond. Honestly,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, I thought like the like the actual pendant.
I
there for
stepped
seconds. Why do I feel suddenly like my foot is transformed?
This is ours.
I do like how he says ours because they've all, like, you know, had it at some point.
They have both touched it and have enhanced it with their essence.
Yeah,
By
and also
making-
Zane retreated in the first place. Yeah.
Which I do wonder, what this necklace. This necklace gotta be magical because like Aaron touched it, it became partially red. Aphmau touched it, it became purple. What is the magical meaning of this? Zane did nothing for Zane. It just stayed the same grade.
Yeah, Zane definitely got the.
I don't know. It's weird because I'm trying to think of like what Zane's color would even be, but like.
Wait, that's the laceration. That's why I could pull it off. It was already snipped. You just didn't see it. There we go.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Also, why would you take that off? Though I would have kept that on the whole time. I'm gonna be fully honest.
I'm guessing I guess we're gonna try and confront Edwin as himself.
Yeah,
but like he looks so much hotter when he's in a suit, though.
You still have to get Aphmau.
I don't think that's his primary concern.
You still have to get Aphmau out of here, though. I mean, he took the realm breaker, or whatever, from.
Okay,
from
as
Zane,
long as he doesn't leave it on the ground and actually can like pick it up later, he should be fine. But they logged back into changes. I think that's been patched. I think you don't have to do that in Minecraft anymore. I think it just works now.
Aphmau, right?
But also that would mean that like everyone else will still see his like old skin if that were by following that like old Minecraft logic.
Wake up! We don't
Also,
have much time.
I did look into it. It looks like crab folk are only listed as monsters in the official rulings. So,
dang, we need crab people.
yeah. So you can have to simply hope.
done.
And then I could torture Emily and Ben with the concept of an area full of crab people.
Yeah,
be like, Aiden, why you can't more weird species? It's like, why not? Worm people, bat people, ant people, now crab people.
Yeah, can I say no one in the show has like good bedside manner. We first had like Lawrence being like, Lawrence, get up, and now we have like Edwin going, hey, wake up, Aphmau, wake up. Get a move on. Wakey, wakey.
Stay away from me.
I'm not getting any closer to you. I'm not touching you. Get up by yourself.
You hurt me.
I just wanted to save myself, okay? I was scared.
That's not gonna help you in this situation.
Yeah.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, it was definitely an act of self-preservation. Wait, no. I know how that sounds. I just mean like I was afraid for my own existence and not yours. No. Dang it. I keep saying the wrong thing.
To be fair, he is famously bad of people, so you know.
I will say
that one ironically fit.
There is coincidentally enough swords for everyone in the crew.
In that cabinet, yeah. Hard to say if Zane could operate one efficiently, but yes, technically they could all.
I mean,
them.
Honestly, I feel like Zane's more dangerous with magic, if anything. He's more dangerous.
No,
he can set people on fire. He just sets
Zane
people
might channel into Keston and embraces inner Dante and become a dual wielder, and snip people that way.
Let me try.
It's so strange though, like because you mentioned like his fire, and now I think about it.
Slice the door with the sword. Sorry, continue, baby. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Sorry, yeah. No, so now I think about it, like we have like very consistent like characterizations, even for alternate versions for like most characters, except for Zane. Zane seems to always be very different depending on the version. Like I can't think of any that are really the same vibe, or even really the same powers.
I would say Royal Tail Zane and Diary Zane have the most in common out of all of them. Maybe even early My Street Zane pre-Stealing Christmas. Aside from that, yeah.
Pre-Stealing Christmas is pretty early on. That's so early, I don't know that I would count that, but
yeah, that's very early on for.
Hey, look,
okay, like not even a full season's worth.
Well, it is if you include all the prequels.
No, well, Phoenix Drop High.
No, because if you include all the prequels, then you have to address Phoenix Drop High.
Phoenix Drop High Zane has a very different personality compared to Season 1 Zane.
It's not. It's not vastly different. It's just whinier.
And far more incompetent.
Oh.
And also just not as powerful. And still kind of just a softie at like his heart.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was always the case anyway. That's why the Stealing Christmas thing.
No, that was always the case for My Street Zane, which is my point.
Yeah, Diary Zane is not softy at all.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Phoenix Drop High Zane. I misheard. Yeah.
Diary Zane is pure evil. He is not soft at all.
You came for me.
What did they do to you?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, you see, I like slammed my shoulder into that glass case till it broke. It was really painful, actually. I scrubbed myself on glass. Look at my stomach. I have so many wounds here.
Yeah, I stabbed myself on glass. I then splintered on the wood floor, and then to top it all off, you see that carpet there? What, the one that's like partially pink? Yeah, that's my blood.
Yeah.
She also would have had
by the captain and thrown into a bookcase. So
she would have also had like some rug burn, and also she had to smash that glass in the beginning, so her like shoulder should be basically black with a bruise. I mean, at some point during this, either between the falling or the throwing, she had to have gotten a concussion.
So, one comment that came up before the stream started. From Daisy Ambrosio, as I think Aphmau's going to heal him, I guess by him referring to Aaron. This was before the stream started, so probably thumbnail stuff, with her magic, which this version of Aphmau hasn't done that yet, but if anyone needs healing right now, it's definitely Aphmau.
This version of
also
Aphmau
Lawrence, but mostly Aphmau.
Also, even going off healing powers, Irene is a bit of a complicated thing. But My Street Aphmau can't even properly heal herself because it takes her own energy to heal herself.
So even it for myself, yeah.
Yeah, so if she were trying to heal herself, she would just end up hurting herself in at least other ways, if not outright injuring herself more through just that pure attempt to try to heal herself with her own energies.
until
go
the end of
well.
season 8, where inevitably the 3 souls are surely gonna merge. In which case, that's gonna be the sickest scene.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do merge at some point. Which honestly, I think
it'd be
the Wolf Mask girl in the My Street teaser is the third part of Aphmau's broken soul. That's my theory, because
So you're on the side then of it is in fact a different entity to the wolf in this series.
Yeah,
okay,
no, I don't.
All right.
I think they're connected somehow, but I don't know how. I think that girl is either a version of Aphmau or a version of Alina, or alternate take on Alina, or something related to Alina, maybe.
That was everyone's first guess when the trailer.
It was either one of those two, because
Yep.
You're safe. I promise I won't.
No, she isn't. Get out there first and then say she's safe. You burned down your ship as well. There's got nowhere to go anymore.
Don't let anything else happen.
This is why I said you didn't burn down the ship.
Live here.
Okay, realm breaker her so she can actually walk and not injure herself.
Keep this close. Don't let anyone else see it.
I think this design is really cool. The one thing I am sad about is, there's one Aphmau design that would have been perfect for the situation. And that's Aphmau's design in season 2 of Diaries, where she dressed up as a thief. That would have been awesome if this design was actually her dressed up as that thief.
She's had a lot of outfits in MCD in particular.
Yeah, but I think it would have been so cool if she dressed up as like that rogue thief outfit that she had in that one that
was a pretty sick
arc
outfit.
during Diaries.
I guess, although I think from what I remember, like most of the outfits that we've seen have been like similar to other ones from other Aphmau's, but like never any that were done.
Yeah, they have reference.
So probably
yeah.
So probably not, and they're usually fairly random anyway.
Yeah.
If we were to take like an old form, I think the most thematically accurate for Aphmau in this series in general is actually probably like Cadenza's dress that she had for a little bit.
She had a wedding dress at one point in this season.
Yeah, which honestly, I think that wedding dress is going to end up being Aphmau's wedding dress in season 7 or 8, whenever.
Yes, you did theorize that. Yeah,
I can see that.
I'm getting you out of here.
I mean, honestly, that wedding dress is so perfect for her, with the little bits of purple, the Irene invoking Irene in that wedding dress. It's so perfect.
Right.
Sir.
Could also be the second time Aphmau's been in a massacre in a wedding.
Oh god. Oh, not again.
He's here.
No, wait, it would be the third massacre at a wedding, because she went through 2 in Diaries. The first one was the werewolf one, and the second one was where she let that weird inner voice of Irene control her to kill everyone. So that would be.
I was referring to the Irene one. I did forget the werewolf.
That would be the third time. That would be the third time a massacre at a wedding happened.
Hi, Raylan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been talking about this recently. Again, another example of the weird comments that just don't seem to appear. I can't put them on the screen now. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Raylan Holiday, 19. Hi. Did you give us your stat?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Introducing yourself.
Yeah, this feels like it's probably a bot, but honestly, it's so like vague that I really can't tell. Honestly, the third one is the only one I can even really respond to.
I've seen a lot of those like types of comments on specifically the Aphmau parodies.
Okay.
Yeah, it's by the way, I mentioned before, like the Morning Frost parody from last month. Like, it has just, like, regular, like, normal comments, like, referring to, like, specific, like, either things about, like, Frost himself or, like, adventures in general. And then the Aphmau ones, that's just, like, every now and then they'll just have, like, question mark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly, question mark.
It's like, yes, I know how to reply to this comment, and I totally don't have nothing to say about it. Hee. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's like your Ubu comments. I never know what to reply to those either.
Oh, well, I put those in the boost you in the algorithm. There's not much to say about it.
No, I get that, but like part of my algorithm boosting is when I get to reply to the comments. That's not the truth about Travis God, as far as it goes.
You should reply with ooh. You should just say ooh woo to you too.
Yeah.
Thank you for the cake, Braylon. The cake on YouTube chat and the cake on StreamYard chat are two different cakes, so I guess we get to have our cake and eat it too, because it's two different cakes.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, I guess I gotta see the StreamYard one from here.
Report immediately.
Yeah. So that one's chocolate, but the other one is vanilla. It's like a birthday cake in the YouTube chat.
Well, those more werewolf friendly.
Aaron, you should ditch your red jacket. It will at least help with the disguise.
Yeah, that is true. He gave her a disguise. He should have put his other one back on. Yeah.
Yeah, also, if you're trying to escape in the middle of the night, maybe a bright red is not necessarily the most, like, hidden.
Yeah, also, you kind of abandoned both of your teammates right now.
Well, they said I'll be at the dock, so I guess, you know.
Yeah, just trust that.
Why is it? Look, if you're a real person, I'm so sorry to offend you, but the way you're typing does kind of look like ChatGPT having a stroke.
You're welcome, and hi, by the way, I'm a YouTuber. I do on my YouTube count. I did my own YouTube. Rebooting.
What's happening?
Don't worry about that. We'll put this behind us. We'll go back to our adventures. You can cook for me, okay?
Okay.
Out of context, what a terrible thing.
You get in the kitchen
Aaron
and
is
cook
misogynistic in Mermaid Tales.
In every other reality, Aphmau can't cook, apparently, so, you know, hey, at least there's something here.
I mean, wait, could Irene...
What is that? What is that cycle, Aaron? What is this?
Wait, could Irene Aphmau cook? I don't know if we ever seen a scene of her cooking.
No, we haven't.
Well, she's
I guess technically, like MCD season 1 and half of season 2, when it was still like Let's Play adjacent, I guess we saw her use a furnace a couple times, but
yeah. I'm thinking now, like, you know, what if like there was just like a select part, like, you know, like there's like the Irene scholars that have studied her recipes. And it just turns out that they're all just terrible.
Oh.
What? No one will see us in the wide open.
They're not a bunch of T-Rexes. I think you're kind of
But no, it's the Zayden Kawaii-chan thing. Maybe she's like a T-Rex. If I stay still, she won't notice me. Zane-kun, hello there. Stay still.
There they are. Oh, shit.
How did they recognize us?
Right,
so well
Aaron?
Hi, Rush.
Hola.
Why did she have to say Aaron at that moment? I thought she could have like a Trinity there or something.
They're getting away! Ah!
Save your energy.
Imagine if that like hit them.
We just cut to Aphmau in the water. She's her legs bleeding now. That means it's sliced.
Ladies and gentlemen, is why harpoons and tridents were invented.
I just healed my body with the Soul Breaker. I mean, the Pearl, whatever I called it.
Glow Pearl.
Soul Echo. Yeah.
It's a Soul Echo, but she keeps calling it a Glow Pearl. We keep referring to it as the Realm Breaker because it's like the Realm Breaker, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
has many names. The many names of it. Aaron can hold his body. Hold his breath.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had practice now.
Yeah, Aphmau can't because, you know, Huma now.
Not working.
Yeah, no, you can't turn to a mermaid.
Okay.
She's trying to return back to a mermaid for the situation.
No, but how's she talking now?
Because she doesn't know to hold her breath.
Yeah, hey, Av, it's okay. We can try this later when we're not drowning. Move!
Aphmau, out round.
And quit opening your mouth.
Watermelon. I watch Aphmau. Good, so do we.
Yes.
We're watching right now, as a matter of fact. Glad you could join us.
Over there!
Weird thing to point out, but Aphmau in this episode has been very good at coughing.
This one.
Jess just got sick in real life. Jess just got sick in real life. It's like, this is perfect.
Dante, what?
To be fair, there's a episode in The Boys, the newest season, where people have been kind of like praising how Homelander looks really sickly and he's really acting his butt off. That's because Anthony was sick as hell.
Oh.
Like, wait, I can use this.
Do you know who is coming? Paul's coming.
To start the show.
Oh, this is all my fault.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Beautiful treasure like you should have never gotten involved with me.
Aaron, I'm not liking your tone. I'm not liking your tone, Aaron.
I guess this is where he makes his choice, yeah.
It's okay. At least this time he said it in person and didn't write a note before.
Oh yeah! He wrote a note being like, Aphmau, I am going to sacrifice myself to kill Zane and bring Gareth back. Love you, I guess. I don't know. Bye.
P.S.
Love you, I guess. Smiley face.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, the episode where Aaron exploded was also entitled His Choice. That's what I was.
Yeah, I thought
mention.
that's one you were referring
It's
to.
called His Choice, so you know. Yay!
Well, don't worry. Aphmau's going to heal him this time with the magic she doesn't have.
The magic and
Yeah.
the build she didn't have, of course.
Just like she did the first time, which is what made her try to learn magic in the first place, if I recall, actually.
I need to protect you. I need you
But you already have. You abandoned everyone else to do so.
to be strong. More than anything in the world. No matter what happens, I need for you to be safe, okay? Promise me.
I promise.
Oh, she should have said aye, Captain. That would have been cute.
I love you.
Oh, he said it for the
I
first
know.
time in this universe. No, that is like the least romantic way to respond to that statement. All I'm saying.
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone!
It's like the least romantic way to say that. Like, when I eventually say it to someone, I don't want that to be the response. I'm going to slap them if they say that back to me. If I say that.
Well, you're definitely not getting a better response after slapping it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no.
Well, they shouldn't have. They should know not to say it to that word to me. That phrase to
They
me.
should
after
know that I
response.
don't like Star Wars quotes.
There he is! Kill him!
Well, originally the script didn't have that. It's just that Harrison Ford said that George Lucas's script writing there was bad and said he'd do it himself.
Yep. I did hear about this. It's more encounter for Han to say it that way, particularly compared to someone else. Unless they're
Which is
referencing him
Harrison Ford's
nowadays.
belief, yes.
No!
Don't yell no if you want to stay hidden.
No, remember,
It's like, hi, Lawrence. Bye, Lawrence.
no peripheral
The way they
hearing.
run-
Remember.
The way they run without the cycles, the custom like run cycles, is very fun. Just when he like goes past like.
I like how I also like how they're running in a single file line.
I mean, it's it's more efficient that way. You know, no hypotenuse
Is
to
it?
deal with distance travel.
Out of our way!
He's not in your
He's
way.
not in your
What do
way.
you mean? You're all in a single file. We just said that.
Lauren's looking around like, what just happened?
Well, that just happened. I'm leaving. I'm gonna find out where that no scream came from, because I have peripheral hearing like most of my streets.
Just ignore me talking in this alley.
he picked the exact right spot. He couldn't look like in any of the other compartments.
No, he has peripheral hearing. He heard Aphmau scream now. Everyone else just didn't hear that.
So in
Aiden,
in
what
the
do you
Aphmau
think
multiverse,
peripheral
how did he have
hearing
no-
is? What do you think that is, Aiden?
Well, okay, fine. He has hearing. The others don't have peripheral hearing. There.
Yeah. I can't imagine many people do have peripheral hearing, Aiden.
So in the well, technically all hearing is peripheral, but anyway, in the Aphmau multiverse, apparently people either can't hear beyond like a certain small radius, or they're Superman. Okay, no in between.
I swore an oath to him that I would protect you.
Yeah.
Earlier.
You need to save him!
I mean, to be honest, it's kind of obvious, but you know.
I can't.
Please!
Yeah, I can't fight like 20 people. I'm gonna be fully honest. I don't think I have that in me.
Please! I can't let him die! No! Captain! Aaron!
Oh, is she gonna
Okay,
yell at
actually, okay. Actual critique here. So she runs off to try to grab him or whatever, and then Lawrence like forcefully grabs her and pulls her back or whatever. I wish he didn't let go. I think it would have had a lot more emotional weight if she continued struggling and he had to continue holding her back, as opposed to just letting go and she changed her mind.
Yeah, which is exactly, that's the way they do in like Order of the Phoenix. Actually, you see in the movie, that's what happens. Like Lupin has to hold Harry back after Sirius dies, but he wrestles free basically, and then rushes up before anyone else can stop him. Whereas in this situation, Aphmau screamed out to Aaron while several other guards were chasing and were perfectly there within earshot under normal circumstances, I guess, under non-My Street conditions.
Okay, to be fair, they don't actually know.
And then turn around.
To be fair, they don't know that she is the person meant to be executed. I think only a handful.
I feel like she would. I feel like they would at least like do a double take if they hear somebody crying out for the very person that they're hunting.
Okay,
that's bullshit.
Maybe it could
Especially
be a
if the
crying
person
out
they're
in
hunting
fear.
has papers everywhere saying wanted dead or alive. Maybe someone crying out Aaron is maybe a red flag.
Maybe it could be crying out in fear. Aaron, no.
Yeah, it sure sounded like it, didn't it?
Oh no, it's Aaron being chased by people. I'm sure he's so dangerous right now.
Understand? He just saved your life. Do not throw away his sacrifice.
See, that
again, another line that would have
like
been great if he were still holding her down.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Aaron!
Parkour time. Oh, okay. He tried to Matrix.
We got him! Keep
Definitely a coincidence, but every time I see someone get like a shoulder shot in like an Aphmau project, I do only think of My Street inside of like the Gareth scene.
Oh yeah, Gar stabbing Zane in the shoulder, which I always hate that plot development, or at least the way it's written in that season, because like, Nana, you can't become a relic. You're too injured. But me, Zane, who had a sword stabbed straight through my shoulder, I am strong enough to become a relic.
Well, I think it's also I think part of it is that Zane didn't really know how it worked. If he did, he would know that everyone would be injured once they become a relic to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, so now he gets the last phrase at the back of his jacket. Okay, I see how it works. Aphmau.
Oh, this is
again another insane thing. This is such an insane thing. Like this again. This is what I was kind of trying to hint at. This tied with that specific clock sound. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
After him.
They're all going after him anyway.
the trauma
I will say
music.
it's like this music carries like a different like feel to it when they're still in the middle of an action sequence rather than like the lull before like the big like climatic moment of the action. Because in all other situations, it's either something like dies down for a bit, or someone's at a standstill about to make like a very like powerful decision or choice in this case.
Well, it
but
also
no,
depends on like which version of this Aphmau is using, because like she could be using like the normal version or like the rock version that she used in the season 1 finale of MCD.
Yeah, I believe this song's called "Dancing Mad." I have that
is, yes.
also included in my sound files to tie back to the beginning of this stream, actually. But I have the rock version,
which is just the superior version, I think.
You can't run forever. Watch me.
Yes, person with gun, approach with your ranged weapon. Okay, so he gets an eye injury, but the guy that Zane snipped in the eye doesn't. Again, Zane's claws seem to leave no physical traces, even if they really should, compared to everything else.
Are we gonna get eye patch Aaron eventually? Are we getting eye patch Aaron?
That would be pretty cool.
Now you've said that.
What?
I think it'd be pretty sick.
He big dead. Okay, look at these injuries. Okay, not even.
Also, plot twist. Him throwing that sword. Plot twist. This actually is in the same continuity as MCD and My Street. Somehow they figure out a way, and the reason that they even get that sword and eventually in My Street is because this dummy decided to toss it at someone's shoulder in the scene.
And then the Void claimed it as a result.
Well, no, I just mean it'd be available. It wouldn't be under like his family's ownership anymore.
Oh, okay. So like when it appears in the casing or something, like for the museum piece, it's like used to belong to notorious pirate.
Yeah.
Well, that's not that wouldn't work in the context of My Street because the description we got in season 5 was wielded by a man who hunted werewolves.
But like, they said werewolf hunter, but even then
does not hunt werewolves.
Yeah, but there was always something weird about that. Yeah, the werewolf hunter thing has always struck me as weird though, because like My Street Aaron is, a werewolf, and we know he's related to MCD Aaron, which is why we have that sword to begin with, who is probably not a werewolf, and he actually is a werewolf hunter. And so like how we end up at these 2 points, there's clearly something in the middle here that's always struck me as odd.
Yeah, about 900 years of potential descendants. Of course the gene pool's going to mix at some point.
Yeah, but I don't know. That just feels like such a big cultural drift that I would have I feel like I wish we knew what happened in the middle there.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of a discriminatory ancestor who at one point has like someone from their line gets I'm
gonna say this here. I don't. I'm pretty sure MCD Aaron is not related to My Street Aaron, genetically speaking. In general, because in the case of werewolves already existed in MCD times, therefore that would at the very least make MCD Aaron a Ultima. Because werewolves were already pre-existing in MCD times.
What? Okay, no, hold on a second.
That's not true at all.
Yeah, so we've gone from like the very like possible idea that like everyone's ancestry has multiple different branches. What happened to create like My Street Aaron, provided this is all the case, is that those 2 branches at some point mixed over again 900 years of potential time frame.
Also, the implication that he has to be the Ultima is such an insane stretch, because if you look at like that universe's history of werewolves, right? I mean, like it's like by MCD time, they're much more wolf-like. First off, like they physically evolved at some point, and 2, like they were in different clans. It wasn't just as simple as the werewolves, right? There's the idea as well in like My Street. There's the point of like, yeah, but when was the first Ultima? Like, and how did that even like first spawn in? And like, how does that? There's so many ways to do it.
So to reference like the idea of like them being more wolf-like, that's not necessarily a deal breaker, because in Phoenix Drop High there is like a vague mention of a wolf form that someone mentions, the Wild Werewolves mentions at some point, basically.
Not to mention MCD, we also have characters like Fenyard and Blaze also
Logan.
appears in season 3.
And
Logan,
Yip.
we have humanoid werewolves too in there. It's just assumably the more savage.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem to be the majority.
It's just a thing werewolves could do, or at least werewolves could do. There's a possible.
Yeah, my interpretation is that yes, it's not the
time.
majority that we see in that form, but that may be because of, you know, like the cultural choices of the werewolf tribes themselves. They formed tribes at that time that were like isolated from humans. It stands to reason they would keep themselves in their werewolf forms, even if they all have the potential to, you know, manifest differently.
Well, my take has always been that, like, in MCD, at least the clans we saw, they always seem to have some sort of, like, ritualistic aspects and, like, tribalism and, like, very magical roots. And if you go back to Phoenix Drop Days, oddly enough, in one of the few Aphmau cameos where she's tutoring, she actually mentions a detail that I think gets overlooked sometimes, which is that she references, though, that she doesn't pay that much attention. There was a point in that world's history where magic was significantly stronger and over time has become increasingly more rare to the point of almost extinction. Like, you know. So, like, the idea of, like, these two things, it could also be that with the decline of magical abilities, there was also the decline of the more primal forms.
Yeah. So...
Maybe. I do wonder what they count in Phoenix Drop High as a wolf form in that case.
I mean, I know we had the mini games where they turn into like little puppies, but those aren't canon.
Okay, look, in the mini games, you could become a werewolf by drinking up by going into like into Phoenix Drop High itself, breaking into the school at midnight and drinking like a mocha choca blocker, whatever it was, at a specific time or something.
I mean, no, what do you mean? That's super canon.
I mean, actually, going back to season 4 of My Street, they did think the wolves that broke into the house and the wolves in the area could be werewolves. Just like, so assumably
once
maybe
again, they mentioned a wolf form that can exist.
So assumably the wolf form would be much like a regular wolf, kind of Vampire Diaries-esque, Vampire Diaries / Original-esque. If you watch those shows like werewolves.
I think every time you've mentioned if we've watched of Vampire Diaries, we've all said no. We don't know.
I am referencing those for mythology, and to be honest, I don't know what kind of shows Aphmau watches in the fantasy department.
Vampire Diaries feels like the kind of thing that she would see.
It does kind of feel like something she would watch.
Yeah. So I guess to build off of what BB said about like about like magic declining over time. What could happen is, you know, seeing as there are like wolf forms of some kind, Vampire Diaries-esque or otherwise, then maybe it's a case that with magic declining, they're not as easy to sustain anymore, and therefore most werewolves nowadays keep to their more human form, give or take any ears and tail.
Yeah. Also, we had like the Ultima in like season 6, where like we had that big giant wolf form. So assumably regular werewolves are like smaller.
The Ultima though is also like kind of a special deal.
Yeah, but assuming
the special deal in this case would be the size of it, as
the size and maybe the pure power of it. Maybe like a slightly smaller and like less ferocious looking than the Ultima Wolf thing that we saw in season 6. Assumably,
I don't know. The Ultima to me has always kind of seemed like the last like big like glimpse of that era. Like it seems like one of the last threads. You know, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
we don't really dive into it.
We have provided
as much,
counterexamples to this that from the source material, so I don't know what to tell you there.
Aaron, what do you mean? The adrenaline isn't keeping you up? I believe in you.
You'll see, no, like with this music, it's always got to lull for a bit before the action kicks in. On the final moment, I mean.
No. Oh, come on. Come on, Aaron. These are just like little scrapes. Not a big deal. You're fine.
That was a very
Walk
cool
it off.
moment, actually.
Aaron Saber. I'm
everything you have. Everything you hold. will return to nothing. Yeah, BB is correct. It does sound a lot
Right?
more
Everyone else
disappointing.
hears this, right? I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy. You're not
I'm not
crazy.
saying they don't sound similar, but they're different VAs. They are different VAs.
Unless
Aphmau,
I got it wrong and James Brown Jr. was someone else in my streets. If someone correct me in the comments.
I mean, Aphmau may just like this voice archetype as well. Let's be honest, she has a thing for voices like this. So let's be honest, she may have been like, "Oh, you sound kind of hot and like menacing." Okay, you're voicing an antagonist here.
Hey, look, if that's what it takes,
the demon warlock.
Hey, look, if that's what it takes to get cast in the cast in an Aphmau production, I will happily offer my audition. Wherever you need to be, don't you worry. I shall be there.
Honestly, you'd be awesome in Aphmau. You'd all be awesome.
I'll be sure to clip that and send it to her.
How would you send that to her? Just add her on YouTube?
We know.
Hey, look at this.
Hey, reminder, guys, it's like an official company. You can just send them things. Like,
with no context.
God.
You're probably not casting anyone right now, but after hearing this, I guarantee you will.
Honestly, you could probably make a whole. You could make a whole voice demo as well. Honestly, with the amount of voices you have, you have.
I've been meaning to make a voice demo just in general, not for Aphmau, but just in general for years. Yeah.
I was promised a challenge.
Well, you let your goons fight me. I'm just saying, you could have fought me yourself, coward.
Yeah, very true. Say no more.
Souls you have slaughtered, death awaits you.
Oh.
By your own sword.
What was that noise?
Oh, so we're not doing the public execution anymore of the guillotine from before. Okay.
No, let me go, Aaron!
Oh, now she's once again inspired to. Okay, Aphmau, come on.
Also, to be fair, I don't even think they have the ability to do the public execution anymore on the pure basis that by the time they get him to the guillotine, he probably already bled out based off the amount of wounds he has on him at this point.
He literally got shot in the heart, guys. I think the fact that he's still alive right now is a miracle.
He got shot in the shoulder and he got slashed in the back.
Yeah,
and
also shot in the heart.
No, it was only one shot.
Yes, that was the third thing.
I know which part you're referring to, like the one where where the guy that gun gets closer. I think that was a missed fire.
I think that missed.
Aaron!
Oh, he's under the moon. I swear, this moon imagery of the show is very strange with the amount we get.
Of course, that's not nearly as powerful as it used to be, actually.
When I saw that, I honestly started thinking, "Oh, it's Zane just shot the cannon again."
I mean, I would have thought Zane would use a fireball in this case, but yeah, he's a wizard after all. I have a matching scar. No, we can't be twinsies.
Well,
I will not be twinsies with you, Aaron Saber.
Actually, if you want to go back to classical imagery, they actually have a scar on opposite eyes, which I think is interesting.
Well, in this case, it's not like a direct wound. It's more of like it looks like it's a head wound that's slightly above his hair.
It's trickling down, yeah.
And the blood just
I just wanted to make the joke. Also, is this the scene you talked about with Levi Drink? I'm not sure when.
Nah, I was talking about just the music playing in general and just the moment.
Oh.
The vibe of that scene. Ooh, they look like they're on all fours there. Also, their mask glows, so their mask gives them power.
Okay, that is is when they're pulling off the Matrix. Okay, that's gonna
so they have super strength because it's brick wall, endurance. There's also
voice amalgamation.
Oh yeah. I don't know what you would call that power.
And potential, well, not.
Hidden instinct potentially. Teleportation.
Yeah. I hope you're keeping track of this. I'm just listing them off because of you. I'm just making listening. Don't worry.
Sick.
If anyone is going to kill Aaron, it's going to be me.
Oh, also has the ability to summon fog. Wherever they go, fog just follows them.
Truly the most important power of all.
Which is like genuinely
there
like
is
classic,
a One Piece
like,
character called Captain Smoker that does do that, actually.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's pretty classic, like, ghost ship imagery to have the, like, ship and cloaked with fog. So, I mean, yeah.
So you finally
Oh, wait, I get to reference Vampire Diaries here. In episode 1, the pilot, Damon has this weird bird that he can control, and he also can summon fog weirdly.
Oh, and
then proceeds to, like, 2.5 episodes later, he pretty much loses those abilities entirely. Mostly because, you know, pilot weirdness of not knowing what vampires can and can't do. It's just kind of like a whole thing for, like, the very, very start of the show, where that kind of just gets erased and just never brought up again.
Yeah, there's kind of like, yeah, I guess vampires controlling birds has never been established in anything. Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit weird. Let's just not ignore this completely.
Okay, that was the first time it seemed like Captain Stone was like thrashing, you know, like, you know, weekly at something.
Hey, whoa! It's me!
Yeah.
You haven't met Human Zane.
Yeah.
Please tell me that means you're dead.
It's Captain Stone. I highly doubt it.
You should have died when you exploded.
The one thing we know about Captain Stone is that he, well, apart from his strength, this is endurance. You know, he's maxed out Constitution.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that he would have survived. Also, is another he was struck with stone, which he's the captain of already.
Yeah, which also is another, that technique there is another example of like another Dragon Ball comparison, because again, I mentioned before with that character and like the stopping the sword with one finger and everything. Yeah, that's an example of like how to demonstrate like the power creep and like the creep of Goku in that scene specifically versus Trunks, who had at that point just killed Frieza. But yeah, so that's like the way that like a lot of like anime, you know, especially since GBZ did it, will demonstrate, you know, the increasing scope of an enemy's strength is have someone who's already been proven to be extremely strong be defeated very quickly. Actually, Dragon Ball did that, you know, not even just Dragon Ball Z, but like actual Dragon Ball, like General Blue was the first example of that. So yeah, they've been doing it for ages. Also, time to commit some piracy. Love that. Also, I guess they're not gonna, you know. Yeah. Never managed to make peace with Edwin, but apart from that, everything else is.
Lawrence finally left his crew. Lawrence's crew is now stuck there.
No, but Lawrence's crew is gonna swear vengeance on Aaron just because he abandoned them all.
So I don't know if you guys are gonna catch this. This is a moment that I think
he risked like the lives of a bunch of people to save one person. That's not gonna go down well with said sacrifice people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are noticed this, but this is a moment that I think probably should just been reshot.
This one?
Yeah.
Why specifically? Why this one?
So here in a second, I think you know how this specific shot is going. You're gonna notice that they vanish a little bit before the transition ends.
Oh wait, have you seen this already?
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, the angle. They're meant to teleport away, but the way it clips, the camera's not fast enough to like get the pole to cover them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a small detail, but I feel like it maybe matters.
That was
like a details level.
That was the end of the episode.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, that was that was a ride, particularly. I mean,
it was like pretty great.
Yeah,
it was a ride despite the lack of ships.
I guess it was well. I mean, the lack of ships was on them. Honestly, you know, they had another one. They also have the ghost girl behind in the last episode. Oh yeah. Well, Lumi's more capable of catching up than Edwin most likely would be. Although, who knows?
On it, Edwin's probably gonna come back sometime in this show. I don't know.
I mean, he's still near Captain Stone. So if the Stone needs anyone to figure out what they're doing, you know, tell them off to, I don't know, the Grand Line or something, then yeah, that's right there. But yeah, so I get so not quite a full you know, just them reset basically, but close enough. But yeah, like the steps that it took to get there, definitely when you consider once again that, you know, as Eden alluded to, those background characters, you know, they have the potential to be, you know, actual people, and of course they are people. And Aaron was so quick to basically, you know, throw them to the metaphorical wolves while the real wolf hunted him in order to save Aphmau, which yes, you can interpret as, you know, you'll do anything to save the one you love, absolutely, but also, you know, at one point you got to wonder if the cost in a potential cost in human lives is going to be worth it or not, or if it's a case of, oh, I don't know, they're bad pirates, we can you know,
they're nameless mercenaries, Jacob. They don't matter.
here's the thing, and I don't think my read on this is going to be true. Like, when I say this, I don't say it with my full chest, but I think there's also a take that, like, they frame it as love and all that, and maybe it is, but, like, there's also the aspect of, like, Aaron's whole thing of, like, oh, you shouldn't have been mixed up with me, and you see it, like, especially, like, the entirety of season 1, and then in a little bit of season 2, where he's still kind of, like, held, like, back from her a little bit, and so there's still kind of, like, a wall between the two. And then there's the whole aspect of, like, the piracy aspect. I don't know, is there a possibility that, like, when he says, oh, you know, you're the most beautiful treasure of the sea, whatever, he says it in, like, a metaphorical sense, but does he believe it in, like, a subconscious level that he would sacrifice anything to keep his treasure?
I mean, even if it's subconscious, he's proven it in this episode alone that that's the case.
Yeah.
Sure, what I mean, though, is, like, is this a subconscious bubbling up of, like, the selfish pirate-like nature?
Maybe, although he is more aware than most of, like, you know, how much trouble he can actually be. Even in, like, season 1 of Mermaid Tales, you know, there was that one lady who, you know, was like, Aaron, how dare you not call me back or something. I shouldn't say call me back. I'm paraphrasing, but, you know, it's like, I told you I didn't want to, like, pursue anything further. Like, I'm no good, and I stand by that. So, you know, that's aspect that's like, always been present to some degree, and he's compromised that, you know, for the sake of, you know, like, this ventures, like, for his own happiness, or like for the bond that he formed with Aphmau in the first season. And so that aspect's probably coming back, like, of a regret in that, and him thinking that he's been selfish for putting them in that line of fire for as long as he has, especially now knowing what he knows about, you know, or what he thinks he knows about the wolf hunting him, depending on, like, you know, how it's interpreted. So yeah, it probably started self-conscious, but has not self-conscious, but subconscious, I meant to say. But given his awareness up until this point, is most likely been conscious for a while now. He's just been, you know, trying to repress that aspect or believe it's not true.
You know, I'm realizing with this as well. What Aaron's going through on here, we're, like, blaming himself and, like, thinking everyone would be better off without him, is quite literally what Aphmau started doing, like, you know, when she's talking to Irene and, like, that weird afterlife thing. Yep. It's like the literal exact same thing. They both, even in different universes, they both still resort to the same mindset when push comes to shove.
Yeah, that scene with Aphmau and Irene felt like a critique to the fandom. That suggests, like, you know, like, all the other characters with their larger life personalities by comparison are far more suited to the main role, than Aphmau, not realizing like the role that she fulfilled, and that's why they had like that whole part of like, it's got to be Aphmau. She's the one that brought us all together. Remember all of this? Let's take up even more time to talk about that specific thing. So
we're running out of time,
from,
guys. We're running out of time. Let's talk about this for like 12 minutes straight. It's fine.
15. I counted.
Oh God, that was such a. I feel like that scene just needed to like a second level of eyes on there just to trim down unnecessary stuff. Like,
which I think it did. By that point, Jess and Jason was sharing the writing space.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like the bit with Toby where Toby threatens to shoot Aaron because he blames him for all this. I like that bit, and everyone stands up for Aaron. And I like the bit where he's like kind of apologizing to Caitlin and Garv, and they're all having that moment. And then I like when they're initially coming out with the plan, but it just drones on at a certain point. Like at a certain point, I'm like, cool. God, hurry up, guys. The world's
I think. Well, this is why films and stuff have test screenings to begin with. It's not just for the sake of reviews, although with the politics of it, it's like, what is it? But that was the intent, right? The idea of it did have second eyes because you had Jason. I don't know how much that counts because of how close Aph and Jason are. I feel like at a certain point you have to consider if they're sharing a vision, and it's like maybe they need someone a bit more detached from it.
They absolutely could do like an in-company test screening if they wanted to. So yeah, maybe.
But this episode, I definitely, again, the title being a reference to when Aaron died, it's a fake out death, which I will state now that we had an Aaron fake out death, Aphmau, you are now
he just dies at the start of next episode, which would be really funny.
You are now capped for having Aaron fake out death moments in the season. You're not allowed to do that anymore this season, because if you do it again, it'll get really weird and repetitive.
Yeah, the next time you almost kill him, you just have to actually do it.
Yeah, you actually have to commit if you're going to do it again. All I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's been done. It's been done at least twice before. So but
these death saving throws are really getting too extreme.
Hey, look, you always roll 3 death saving throws, so but goes to show. But anyway, but that's one thing actually, with this mirroring the original His Choice, and also of course the not Phoenix Drop High, the Emerald Secret episode that came out exactly a year after the original First Choice. Also showing, the quote unquote death of Aaron for like 5 minutes. It seems like every time that's like called back to, it doesn't evoke the same shock, because of course the first time it happened, he was just straight up gone. Give or take some minor puppeteering later on, but yeah, that was that, and that was why it was so harrowing. I remember somebody saying
it is kind of crazy that she's only really had the balls to pull it off once.
Out of the 3 times it's been mentioned, but every time it's backpedals further, because the second time, he still dies, but he gets literally Deus Ex Machina back to life in the next episode. So we had like 2 days of like mourning time, and I was like, okay, that's it. He's back. And then this time we don't even get to like that extent, because there's no actual death, and he gets rescued by the creature that seems to have either been hunting him down, or maybe is not, and actually was protecting him this whole time. We don't know for sure, but it does seem like almost again, a less literal Deus Ex Machina, but still a powerful creature coming in to save the plot. So in the literary sense, still very much the case. So, but we even get to like the same thresholds before. So every time it feels like it's less effective each time. As I mentioned before, even the music this time was not used in the same way that it was like formatted and designed to be used before.
That's another weird detail.
And play out, but now I can say I don't know.
I feel like, and there's one detail in this episode around the point you're mentioning that I think actually would have maybe changed the choreography a bit, though. So in the moment where the wolf comes in and he kills off everyone, that makes like sense. But then he gets into like an actual fight with Stone, which is weird to me, because he doesn't need to. Like, Stone is so effortlessly undone by the wolf if it wanted to. that it's like, why is the wolf focusing on it? Like, it feels like it should be much more of a force of nature. What I think instead would have been more interesting is if Stone's desire to execute Eren would have been enough to try to defend Eren against the wolf, so that way he could have the kill instead. I think that would have been more interesting as opposed to the wolf chasing after Stone.
I mean, that's essentially what he was doing, and there are obviously less words. Essentially,
but
he
it's
was trying.
but it's not though,
But
because
the wolf's fight with Eren wasn't even much of a fight because it was mostly just Stone punching the wolf, I think, twice from that one shot, while the others go check on Eren, and then Stone being pushed away just for Stone to be flung to a wall. So it wasn't even much of a fight. Yes, it was a longer fight than the other Marines, but I think part of that's to show Stone is a cut above the rest of the Marines, but he is nowhere near.
But he's not a cut. But he's not a cut enough to face this.
It depends. It depends on how much of a force of nature. Because I mentioned before, DBZ power creep, that's definitely a thing, but having Stone take a bit longer to defeat does still highlight, him being a cut above the rest. But
still not good enough.
Taking yes, exactly. To reference Dragon Ball again, I suppose you could go into the aspect of Dragon Ball Super, Goku facing off Beerus for the first time, but going through different Super Saiyan transformations, each of which are defeated within a matter of seconds. But it's always an increasing number of seconds. So even if the difference is minimal, it still shows that there is a difference in the powers that's not being ignored. The power scaling, that is.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I get it. What I'm saying, though, is I don't hate the result of this. I just think that the framing makes it feel like more of a duel than it should be. I feel like it should be literally just Stone is a physical obstacle in the way of the wolf's actual hunt.
No, I get
a literal hurdle in the way.
Yeah, no, I understood that. It just seems to be the case that either we've overestimated how much of a power creep there actually was with the wolf in question, or we underestimated Stone. One of the two would be true in this situation.
Also, with that scene as well, we are just as focused on our main crew checking on Eren and trying to get him out of there, as well as the bits where Stone is fighting the wolf briefly. So that scene was the scene had two separate things it was doing, and didn't fully commit to either of those, which works just as fine. But that's also why the scene wasn't purely focused on the fight between him and the wolf. It was also focused on them checking on Eren and trying to get him out of there, or at least their.
But my thing is you'll notice my complaints in this episode are not I get that wasn't the focus. I'm not worried about the focus. I think the focuses were fine this episode. I think it's the smaller details that I find issue with, right? It's okay, at the end of the day, the Lawrence and Aphmau thing works, but I think Lawrence should have held her a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think there's, of course, what we just complained about. I feel like maybe the angling of how Stone and the wolf interact with each other should have been maybe done a little bit differently. I think, maybe the shot at the end where the wolf disappears maybe should have been redone a little bit, because you can clearly see the person do the command to make the model disappear before it eclipses into the middle, and it's okay,
yeah,
but I get the idea.
The camera pan need to be 1.2 times faster, essentially.
Right. These are small details. They don't really affect the end product. I think they're smaller details that if you're really focused on the overall thing, I just think they bring a bit more to it if you just.
It's like we always say: the more that we nitpick about something, the more that we enjoy the actual product, because we're having to dig so far to actually see for creeps. And yeah, I agree with about all that stuff. But the Captain Stone one, I'm siding more with Aiden on the grounds that it seems like that particular execution or tweak critique comes from the perceived idea that the wolf is perhaps more powerful than presented.
I mean, that's
or
fair.
Stone was less powerful by comparison. That's what I was getting at. Yeah,
I mean, Stone's clearly powerful enough to survive an explosion to the face.
Yeah.
But that was a
Crazy,
really
by the
weird
way.
shot. That was a
Exactly,
really
yeah.
weird thing that they did in that episode.
He's already a superhuman, so yeah.
And I mean, if he survives this episode, which I guess we didn't see the body, so you know, if there's no
Classic,
body, they're
yeah.
not dead. You know, he did just get flung into a wall, so he may be still alive and still a threat.
I'm gonna be so annoyed if they focused on him for the next 5 episodes instead of the stuff I care about again.
Honestly, I honestly think Stone's gonna be put on the back burner. I wouldn't be surprised if the next part of the story we end up circling back to either Xena specifically or the other Siren plus Caspian. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being our next major focus going forward.
What I guess would happen with Stone particularly is that you know he's either gonna have to be actually recovering and be hospitalized or something after the encounter, and that's why he's out for a bit, or because he still has access to Edwin, he's going to now question him further or try to use him and his information to continue to track down. Yes, whether or not that happens next episode or not is another matter, but that I believe is like probably the next beat for him whenever it may occur.
Yeah.
As far as next parts go, I mean, the next part is definitely going to be, you know, the aftermath of what's just transpired here. Will they bring up the piles of bodies in Aaron's wake now? I don't know, but he's definitely on that wanted poster this time.
Yeah, I also
everything else I'm sure they'll touch upon, especially Zane's transformation. They're gonna really like think about that one, and also you know, similar thing happened to Gareth. So who knows what may happen if he
I can't wait for Zane to earn the mask.
Well, one thing I am wondering with this show, though, especially is I kind of like what the show so far is right now. It kind of feels like we have like essentially 3 separate divisions of the antagonists going for our party for different reasons. You have the mysterious siren woman who her name was in the description of one video, but I can't be bothered to look that up now. Her name is there, but and then we have Caspian. The mysterious siren woman obviously wants Aphmau, and Caspian just hates Aaron for personal reasons. And they, you know, and then you have the wolf who wants to get Aaron, who seems fairly unrelated to the siren stuff this season, and he wants to get Aaron for whatever reason. And then you have Captain Stone, who just wants a challenge and is unrelated to the siren stuff besides seeing the siren, but doesn't care about Aaron for siren reasons. You know, so it's like they're all separate antagonists going after our party for various different reasons, unrelated reasons, but various reasons. I mean,
absolutely, yeah, it makes the world feel very much larger than, you know, the group of islands that we've seen it to be thus far.
Yeah, which, you know, that's pretty cool. Which I do wonder how all these antagonists will interact eventually. Assumably, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a later point in the season where pretty much all sets of antagonists are all facing off against each other with our party in the middle of it, essentially trying to not.
They're fighting over who gets to kill the main party, which essentially, you know, if we perceive the wolf's intentions correctly, is what happened this episode. But you know, have it be on a grander scale. Yes. I will point out that
the final battle is just everyone killing each other.
I will point out that very thing has happened in One Piece, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if we're heading there. But you know, I definitely think this episode is a major step up. Like I enjoy the mini Crab Island arc. I think that was semi fun. Is it as strong as some of the earlier parts of the show? No. But I mean, Write Out made a video where, like, I don't fully agree with some of the assessments Write Out did. Like, Write It Out seemed kind of confused about Edwin's character being like, oh, what was the point of Edwin? And I'm like, and I don't know, for me as a writer, like, I kind of saw through Jess's intention with, for example, Edwin as a character being like, oh, they're going for this kind of archetype of character who, like, joins their main party, but then, like, has to choose between working with XYZ to, you know, redemption arc kind of character. You know. No backbone redemption.
But, yeah, and also the idea of, like, you know, of the party member that you don't know if you can trust fully or not, because, you know,
there are also some critiques about Aphmau, about not understanding Aphmau, or like how like she seems something about trusting or whatever. I'm like, I feel, which I'm like, for me reading the show, it seemed Aphmau's attitude towards Edwin was because of recent events concerning the island and the mysterious siren woman. That's my personal reading of the show and what the show is kind of giving. Are those episodes significantly weaker than some of the previous episodes? Yes, that's not necessarily wrong, but I wouldn't call them bad. I would just call them kind of a lighter middle portion that didn't always work. Sometimes work, didn't always work. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say it got bad or like it at any point the show got like bad. It just kind of got more less interesting, more and less, you know. He's obviously, you know,
my opinion on it would differ depending so much. Like, it's not that I dislike that stuff, right? It's right. I mean, I got into my street at some point, right? It's not that I have a stark hatred for slice of life or fun little adventures, right? It's
I'm
that once they
have affection for other stuff.
yeah. It's once they introduced these other things that I like more. It's like, okay, but they feel like such a different level. It's like, now that you've introduced this to the board, why are we treating this like it's just another Tuesday? I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not really my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, you know, you said at the start of this that, you know, you feel like your interests like differ so much from the rest of the Aphmau fandom. That's not necessarily the case. There are like a plenty of people out there, you know, still, you know, theorizing about the show, about all these different like aspects and all the details, and trying to predict what's you know, happening. You know, not the theorizing that I did back in the day, like, you know, not the
crackpot stuff that made
typical,
little to no sense.
The more typical, I mean, well, honestly, some of the theories they come up with makes about as much sense as mine, but yeah. But their stuff is like more traditional in that sense. So there are clearly people still who are clamoring for more regarding this kind of thing. Honestly, that divide started like to happen like towards when Emerald's Secret first came out. Like, you know, it just like those aspects, and then almost like having to, you know, like not doing a full revert, but still like having like, you know, classic adventures like season 1, but going to season 5, that being like the combination of them, and season 6 being again another thing. So so Mermaid Tales in a way could almost is almost like a you know, a similar idea, but on a micro level, where, you know, you have like different like different moments where, like, you know, one thing is like up here, one thing is like down here, like as far as like the tension goes, and back like that, like the ocean. Yeah, there you go. That's probably what's happening here. So
yeah, maybe the major issue in retrospect with the island and stuff, like before Aphmau got kidnapped, was maybe it hit too low of a point tension wise. It hit like slightly lower tensions than it did when we started the show. And
as soon as Ha and Hee came into the show, they kind of removed they removed the pacing a little bit.
And that on a certain level, I do kind of get. I mean, one criticism of the Write It Out video that I do also kind of disagree with was where, like, at one point he mentioned how, like, the whole stuff that just happened in the prior episode, like, talking about episode 8? It was the episode that baited Aphmau and Aaron kissing in that thumbnail, even though it didn't happen in the episode. You know, that episode...
That's a classic Aphmau move, though.
They still did... The characters in universe still did address what just happened. To be fair, they just, you know, it was just throughout a single conversation and just wasn't lingering on the whole episode because there was other plot going on, which they still inherently address what's going on. I don't know. That video, I get some of the points, but off some of it's like, it's not that bad. It's not like we're not hitting like Phoenix Drop Days finale levels of, oh God, what have you done to the show? You know, it's not that. It's not a situation like that where the show just like...
Again, though, Phoenix Drop Days, I always hesitate to bring up Phoenix Drop Days on like a meta level because it's such a different scenario than most of the things Aphmau did.
I guess it depends like how you bring it up. If we're talking about about like switching around romantic couples or like basing a specific pairing and then not actually following through with it, then absolutely, even if it could continue the same way, that still would have been like a bait
would've
that
been
we would have to
jarring.
have done much more organically afterwards. But yeah, so I think that's where the comparison comes from in this situation. So it really depends like how you finished up Days as an example, and
I don't know. Like again,
whether or not the reason behind its rush production affects that judgment or not.
Again, and also I've said this finished up Days though. In my opinion, even though the production was rushed, I've discussed. I've said a few points that I'm like, even if you were going to rush a finale, certain ideas just shouldn't have been abandoned. Like Hiyori X Hunter just should have been abandoned completely, and just stick them with what's her name, Abigail.
Yeah, I've mentioned this before. There is an arc in the Mutant Girl that I dropped.
All the setup was just didn't end up in the actual show because cutscenes. So it's like
well, it was one specific cutscene, but it was so instrumental in like building that up in the first place. I was like, I can't pull this off.
In good faith, I can't continue this.
Exactly. That almost happened in season 1. If it were for that, but no. So and now that we've had more time with the show, we're still working on that to like build up to it.
Yeah, we
season
just have
3 had
so
a lot
much...
of that. As soon as I brought that idea up to Aiden, who didn't know about that beforehand, it was like, we can do this now. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that idea will eventually be reincorporated into the Mutant Girl. You guys just don't know when. You guys don't know.
Well, yeah,
when.
no, I already, what I'm saying is that for season 3 particularly, when we were like writing through that was when it came up, because for season 2 it also would not have worked.
But like as far as like the island arc, and the island arc is still important because it gives Zane a little more character.
I think Zane had plenty of character beforehand.
Well, and a lot more character backstory, especially. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do with like anything fantasy related is just giving characters backstories. I feel like backstories really do enhance characters in the world, because that's one thing I do, especially in my writing. Like here's a bit of their backstory. Obviously, in a more organic way, I always try to do it. But
yeah, it's of course, my only issue is that all came out after we wrote the song for Crab Zane, so it didn't actually, we couldn't use any of it. But the fact that it's there is great.
Yeah, and again, that arc also giving Zane inherent magic. I said this in a previous review. Makes him more dynamic in fight scenes, because outside of him using cannons or maybe like jumping on someone and snipping them, he's kind of useless in a fight for the most part, besides having some mild nuisance.
Yeah, outside of D&D, I don't usually find too much of an issue if characters aren't suited for combat in something, especially if
but this show has a lot of combat
forced upon them. But if someone if they decide to like take steps in a certain way and like it works in the story, like like Willow learning magic and Buffy, for example, then yeah, go for it. But if it didn't happen, I would also been a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it could have worked without it, but like with it in addition, I think it really does help the show, at least in the long term with Zane. Definitely, like again, and I feel like this is a pretty strong finish. I don't know. So like, I guess the Aphmau gets kidnapped arc, which I guess technically starts with like the wolf pack being introduced. I would describe that as. I know it's technically intersects with the Crab Island arc, but it's kind of complicated when those arcs end and begin. Technically speaking,
which is kind of a unique way of approaching this idea, which suggests sort of like a middle length of a production. Where it's not going to quite reach the long 35 episode length of a season of of My Street back in the day, but it's also not going to be as short as Emerald Secret.
Yeah.
Or less, like Meteor Valley. So that's probably what we're gearing on for. So that's one prediction I'm happy to lock in. That's we're somewhere potentially at a halfway point.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think we're at the halfway.
Action.
I am wondering if this show is going to get the 26 episode treatment that I think Mermaid Tales got. Not Mermaid Tales. Minor Demon's got the 26, 24 episode achievement, I think.
That actually would be quite fitting because a lot of anime do that. You know, a typical anime season would be 13 episodes or 26 if you wanted to extend it one. But yeah, and so this would mean it would be the mid-season point where, you know, it seems like the darkest moment has actually come to pass, or like, you know, or what we perceive to be at this point, and that might be why the wolf returned in this episode, actually.
Yeah. Oh, also one criticism in Riot's video that I'm gonna use my own writing experience for this, but he mentions how the wolf appearing at the end of last episode, the prison on fire, meant like didn't really tell us anything new about them, unlike the previous appearances of the wolf in prior episodes. Kind of gave us a little,
you know,
gave us a little more
power,
information.
impervious to fire. There you go.
Yeah, but like he was looking at the prison, and like again, I think that ending scene, obviously now seeing the episode, was to directly set his return in this episode. Which again, I kind of did something similar with crap. The episode isn't out yet. There's a thing of Harvey in episode 10 that sets up episode 11 with something of Harvey. There's a scene of him in Fallen Angels, and like again, it's like having something right before the episode where something happens to emphasize that at the ending of one episode into like the, you know, sometime next episode, it as direct setup to remind the viewers, being like, oh yeah, this is about to become extremely relevant, at least for a moment.
It's a very classic trope. Right now, potentially might have been thinking that it would have been similar to how the wolf was presented at the ends of the earlier episodes and not coming in. But yeah, the fact that it worked out this way, which is why it's always difficult when a series is still ongoing like this to lock in general opinions about it.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, but was also why we tend to focus, you know, one episode at a time and something like this. Even the Siskel and Ebert style like glitch reviews on Ada's channel that we've done. Well, Aiden's already seen the video, so it's not quite the same. But like from my perspective, I'm always thinking about, you know, these things like how and how I'm, you know, I'm enjoying them in the moment. Like, yeah, Meta Runner particularly, I guess I was
Meta Runner very
I was very vocal about my displeasement with the first season in general. That's because like none of the episodes grabbed me compared to this series where, like, you know, there could be that it has again ups and downs.
Yeah. And again,
I think, yeah, and if you see those rest of season 2, in season 2, my opinion of Meta Runner like changed drastically after a certain point where it was like, oh, now it's getting good, like halfway through, and then I was just all on board afterwards. So I had my own journey there with those ones. I had my own character arc.
Yeah. But like also generally talking about Aphmau shows do generally have occasional lows throughout the season. Like I don't think there's a single Aphmau show that throughout its run didn't have like a single low of episodes, or even just a low point episode, or like a low episode where it's like, yeah, no, this is kind of like,
Maybe Ultra Nova.
Yeah,
only 10 episodes.
Yeah, Ultra Nova's only 10 episodes. There's very hard to that's very hard to mess up, unless you mess up from the beginning.
Yeah, well, Realm Roars was also similar length, and they messed up from the beginning.
Well,
but but that's the only exception I can think of, really. Otherwise, yeah, you're correct. I mean, I've said before, a lot of like the long Aphmau seasons, I guess the trade-off for extending, like, you know, the different arcs and details, when you're trying to also, you know, post like content, like, you know, as frequently as Aphmau was doing like these types of videos at the time, being like the main focus of the channel at that point. Is that the beginnings and the ends of the seasons tended to feel stronger than the middles, with a few exceptions of a few middle episodes and things that like really picked it up for a bit, because I guess like the idea was that strong. But compared to how they started and finished, most of the time that's where, like, you know, the duds tend to be.
Yeah.
And for some reason, a lot of episode 6s, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like, and if this show was only 13 episodes, maybe the fact that there was a stretch of like four episodes, 5 episodes that kind of were just like would have been a lot more of an issue. But since this is going beyond 13 episodes, obviously, that's in the grand scheme of the show is probably not going to be that big of a deal in the grand scheme of the show. It's gonna be like, yeah, there was a point where the show was kind of closer to than yay, you know. So it's like,
yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's like.
Heartpoint might also be an exception on the grounds that most of it was kind of meh the whole way through.
Heartpoint was just kind of a meh show, which ironically, I my brain remembered the term Heartpoint, and that became a basis of my own show that has nothing to do.
I remember when we first met, and you showed me the first script you ever showed me was for the remake of Heartpoint Family Farm, and I immediately went, Heartpoint, huh? And we met because of Aphmau, so
yeah, my brain just kind of had that term in my head, and like, oh yeah, Heartpoint Family Farm.
But the curious thing is that you have the similar premise to Little Shop of Horrors, and to this day haven't seen it.
I have not seen it. No, I don't know what it is. We have Plant Child. And Dad raising Plant Child, who may or may not have a chance of ushering the apocalypse. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, which in broad terms is Little Shop of Horrors, give or take, you know, a little bit less, you know, feeding on blood.
Jax does not eat people. I can confirm. He does not eat human beings because he's half human being. He's half human being. I can confirm. Well, actually, he's like 90%. He's complicated. He was like made of one person's DNA, so he's like
okay. He's Timothy Green. All right,
he's made of one person's DNA and a magical plant that got pregnant with blood. Don't ask me how. It just did.
Okay, so there's the blood aspect. There's the there's where it comes in.
It stole Gold's blood.
The idea was like the plant got pregnant with blood. Oh my goodness.
It's not pregnant. It just had a butt. It ate some of Adam's wrong character. Gold's blood. It like pricked Gold. Took some of his blood. Inside his bulb, it started gestating. Or growing a human.
By the way, fun fact to everyone else, the first collab that Ed and I did was on his channel where he was in character as Gold. So it was a Minecraft meets live action collab.
Oh yeah. No, that's just my skin. Gold is just my skin. I did what Aphmau did. Gold is just Aiden's skin.
Yeah, but you also like named the character different to yourself, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's not like your online persona is Gold or anything.
Yeah, no, but Gold's skin is just Aiden, which part of me wonders if I should change it for a reboot or if I should just keep my main skin as that. It's not like Aphmau. Gold has a different name and a slightly different personality. Not much different, but different.
Yeah, but at the time you're also doing Minor Demon, so Gold is kind of like your Ava in a sense.
Yeah. Which
Aiden really just went. No, he's totally different. He may look the same, may sound the same, but he has a slightly different personality. He likes green instead of blue.
Oh, actually, no. Gold likes blue. Gold wears blue. Nah, that doesn't change. I just
what an unfortunate response, Aiden.
Listen,
it's like KW.
Right.
I mentioned KW's protagonist. There's so many of them that share very similar characteristics to each other, and KW was like, "No, wait, no, they don't." And then I listed them all. I was like, "Okay, yeah."
Yeah, well, to be fair, blue for me is one of the most versatile colors I ever ran across.
It is one of the primaries, so yes, that would make sense.
So especially it helps for like characters like Adam eventually, where like there's so many different shades of blue I could pick from him, and without having to go into other colors to diversify his designs.
Imagine learning the colors in an ancient Greek school. All right, class. Today we're going to learn about the primary colors: red, yellow, and what the heck?
See, I also, much like the Greeks, have a vendetta against blue because me and my colorblindness. All right, I swear to God, I hate it. It looks like purple and blue, very easily mistaken.
Which is interesting because purple is made from blue, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, episode-wise, any other major comments about the episode though?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we've mostly either covered everything at some point during our last discussion there. Hey, if everyone's enjoying like the way that we keep on like going on tangents, yeah, join us on Thursday. We're back in business.
Yeah.
You missed us. You missed this combo, everyone.
But yeah, no. But in general, I think this episode is a step up from the previous few episodes. But at the same time, the other one's just kind of pretty decent, Closer to but pretty decent overall. But yeah, I'm excited. I do kind of hope we at least hold this climax for at least a little bit longer, instead of jumping into, I guess, more lighthearted stuff that we kind of did after the siren incident.
I don't know if there could be like a full episode of Aftermath the same way that there was in Diaries.
I do wonder.
It doesn't feel like the kind of show that would have the time for that if they presumes, if we're correct in our assessment of like the runtime of everything.
Yeah, I do think probably next episode is going to deal with Eren recuperating.
Zane, figuring out like his attunement to the soul echo, which is probably also the reason it didn't work for Aphmau, because the attunement has like switched sides now.
No, well, it still worked with Aphmau because Zane it affected Zane, but then Aphmau was able to turn into her.
Oh wait, no, yeah, oh wait, that's when Aaron used it on her. That's true, yeah.
But the problem is Aphmau doesn't know how it works. She just knows when she's a mermaid, she taps herself with the soul echo, becomes some sort of human variant, and then it just wears off over time. Because I don't think there's been a single moment where she is like willed off the transformation.
Oh yeah, now that you bring that up,
it's all just happened.
Why did you think that would work then in that case? Yeah, that feels weird now.
Oh wait, she was following Xena's example. That's what Xena did. After Xena was free from the cage and became human and free from the cage, she tapped herself with the soul echo, left it there, and just swam away.
The tuner's not strong enough yet.
So I assume God, I don't know if you watched Amphibia. It's like Amphibia with the calamity box. You just gotta know how to work it.
I've been purposely holding off on Amphibia because I found Amphibia book in a bookstore like years ago, and I've been meaning to like read that first because I want to see what would happen if I actually experienced that this apparent like lore book first before watching the show. So I've been holding off on purpose.
I mean, fair enough. I mean,
it's a very BB move to do.
Amphibia is...
Except that's how it's supposed to work chronologically, so that's where
Amphibia is a really good show, but there are some instances with the Calamity Box where certain characters try to use it when it doesn't work. It's like, how do you use this box? How do you use this device?
I see.
But yeah, I imagine it's probably something like that, or like you just gotta know how you finagle the thing. You can't just use it on a whim.
Yeah, you got to contact magical tech support like like Marek did in oh wait, it was Melvin in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Now, sir, if you try to connect to the Wi-Fi capability, it's a magical Egyptian rod. It doesn't have Wi-Fi. No.
But
sir, have you tried to reinstall the Bluetooth? Why the places would it happen?
Okay, but yeah, I am excited to see. I don't know. I kind of want to see Aphmau practicing with the Realm Breaker thing. I'm calling it all its names.
Yeah, So if next episode was the falling action of them having the aftermath of this, but also trying on like this new ship to deal with whatever's going on, or I don't know, figure out how well they're going to do for supplies now. Honestly, they burnt down all the food they could have possibly taken. So who's to say?
I assume next episode is going to be them actually sailing to the ship on the little tugboat they got, and then they're going to get on Aaron's ship, and I assume Lawrence is going to proceed to join our crew, even if just temporarily.
Well, I mean, he can't save this one now. It's like, hey, Aaron, I made like a whole rescue mission for one person. My entire crew either got captured or killed. Can we go back for them? It's kind of a one-time deal, Lawrence. I don't know.
What was Lawrence's plan? Like, did they have a rendezvous point to get out, like the rest of the crew, or was the rest of the crew like cool, pretending to be like a fugitive, being like, "Okay, crew, hear me out. You're going to dress up as Aaron, scream about how you're Aaron Saber, and distract all the guards."
You know how you said that they couldn't pull off the public execution anymore? They had 2 gallows and a guillotine there. I think they might get some use after all.
Oh God.
And on that sobering thought, we'll sign off for now. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a like or dislike.
Because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you've done so already. Until next note. On that note, farewell.
You sound like that bot from before.
I am human.
So, guys.